Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel. And welcome to another unhinged TikTok makeup video compilation, my lovely.
Yes, yes.
I am currently away from my studio today. That means you get an illustrious collection of several hours worth of my unhinged TikTok makeup videos. Because what? TikTok is completely deranged. So, my lovely, make sure you're sitting down comfortably, grab yourself a beverage, and let's watch some unhinged TikToks, shall we? There they go.
I can't wait to die.
How are you doing today, Mr. Biscuit? You're quite sprightly and energetic today. You'll give me a run for my money. Oh, thank you. Yes. Do you like the red lip?
Yeah, it's very Christmassy.
I feel very The Matrix does Christmas today. But it's time to delve into, what is this, part 9, I think?
Yes, yes.
If you don't know me, my name is Luxeria. Can you tell? I've been a makeup artist for 16 years and I also have a biochemistry degree because I have a fundamental interest in the way things work. So during these videos, I like to combine my industry experience in working with weddings, events, retail, to maybe try and understand why some of these hacks work, some of these hacks fails, and what might just be going wrong with makeup. That's where a little bit of science kicks in and hopefully I can allow you to understand a little bit more of why certain things are the way they are. Sometimes anyway. I've only got a degree, girls, not a PhD.
Oh, well, what the is the point of all this then?
I'm so glad you guys have been absolutely loving these videos because it does give me an opportunity to flex my makeup muscles in a way that I just haven't done on YouTube for a very, 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 very long time. So if you want to know the red lipstick that I'm wearing today, my lovelies, it's the Maybelline Matte Ink, but I can't remember the shade, so I'll pop it on the screen right now, my lovelies. And over the top, I have one of the lip balms that Maybelline also do. Here you go. Terrible beauty guru biscuit, terrible.
Cancelled!
If you want to follow me over on TikTok, my lovelies, it is XXLuxeria. And if you come across any unhinged videos over there, I'd love it if you sent them over. The end of November is swiftly approaching, which is quite alarming, isn't it? So make sure you grab your rather festive skull filled with cream soda for today. Oh, I don't like that. Sit yourself down, pop your hanger in, and let's watch some unhinged TikTok makeup videos, shall we, my loves?
I can't wait to die.
Okay, I can see the first one here. It says, I'm allergic to most makeup. Oh, allergies. Isn't the human body just annoying? Okay, should we have a listen?
I can't do my passion anymore. This is kind of a hard video to make because I started having extreme irritation in my skin. I'm putting off going to the derm because I just wanted to be able to do makeup. Like, that's all I want to do. I was moisturizing 5-6 times a day and my skin still looked like this by 3 p.m. So I scheduled an appointment with my derm and she told me, she shattered my world and told me, you really shouldn't be wearing makeup anymore and we kind of have to regulate your skincare routine. So like, where does that leave me? Do I continue just doing my makeup and risking my skin's health? This is literally one of the most difficult things that I've had to overcome because all I want to do is put on foundation and a red lip. I feel so naked right now and it doesn't mean that I feel bad about myself. I just feel empty. What do I do?
Oh, wow. Okay. Goodness me. What a start to today, my lovelies. What a start. Okay, so human bodies and allergies. What causes them? Why are they here? And why does it do it to us? Why does the body just go, one day, do you know what? Yourself. So Nicole here actually did the right thing by immediately trying to go to a dermatologist. I can't stress this enough. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not going to give out medical advice here on the Chanel, but what I am going to say is go and immediately try and get referred to a specialist. If you're in the UK, that means go to your GP, my loves. Now, if we look at Nicole's skin here, unfortunately, this is basically a pretty standard contact dermatitis, I would say. I'm not a professional, so don't quote me on this. The skin is a very interesting organ. It's the biggest organ we have here as humans on this planet, my lovelies. I do think it is kind of odd sometimes to think that the skin is an organ, and it actually provides like a lot of functions apart from like keeping all the soft bits in. Ugh!
Oh, that's terrible. Thank you.
Don't let the jelly come out. And part of the skin's function is to protect the inside from the outside, if that makes sense. So sometimes things that touch the skin provoke a response in which the blood vessels are dilated and loads of nutrients are just pumped into the area. Most of the time, this reaction is caused by the hormone called histamine. She's a little problematic child. Sometimes she is. That's why we have drugs called antihistamines, which are good for like hay fever, good for reactions, all those sorts of things. Usually, not all the time, but usually a reaction like this is caused by two things most of the time. Sometimes there's lots of other things in that as well, like detergents and soap. But most of the time it's metals and proteins. I don't know if you guys know this, but pigment is mostly metal, unless it's a dye. So a lot of the pigments we find in foundations, in eyeshadows, in lipsticks, are forms of oxides, which is a compound of a metal and an oxygen molecule. So unfortunately, if you develop a reaction or an allergy to an oxide, and like a metal oxide of some sort, you can't really wear makeup without it creating that sort of a reaction. There are ways around it. I guess you could potentially investigate something like vegetable-based dyes or vegetable-based pigments. But even then, I'm not going to sit here on the internet and say, oh my god, just rub vegetables on your eye, pretty makeup, look, you won't get an allergy response, because I don't know. I'm not a dermatologist and I can't advise that. As a makeup artist, when I was on counter, we were kind of like shadily taught that a lot of our products could easily deal with something like this. I never really felt comfortable trying to sell someone with clearly a medical issue a product that is not a medical product, like skincare. Although it can be medical and medicinal, when you're getting it over the counter at a beauty studio trained by retail artists, it's not the same as going to a dermatologist. You see what I mean? When it comes to skincare like this, if you do not treat the root cause, or eliminate the root cause from the application process or your routine, it's quite often more likely than not going to continue. So make sure you contact your dermatologists, my loves. And don't necessarily listen to some retail artists being like, oh my god, the essential oils in this balm are gonna fix all your problems. Because they probably won't.
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants.
Contact dermatitis. Oh, okay, this next one is titled, My Lip Flip Gone Wrong. Oh, goodness me. What do you do when Botox goes wrong? Well, there's lots of things you can and lots of things you can't, but let's watch, shall we?
Okay, let's talk lip flip.
Let's talk.
The most popular procedure these days.
Yes.
Lip flip is really meant for a young person.
Ah.
Because as you get older, your lip tends to invert rather than evert, and it's not so easy to pull it out with a simple injection. So
pull
here's
out
an
your lips,
example of
girl.
something I did to myself as a little experiment, which I
Okay.
suppose was not very smart.
Okay, she hasn't explained what a lip flip is, so I'm quickly going to do it. So it's basically a procedure in which Botox is injected into the muscle here in order to shorten the length between your nose and your lip. Is it called the philtrum? I think it is called the philtrum. And it gives that gorgeous little like upturn flip. Basically kind of like a non-surgical lip lift, if that makes sense. Unfortunately, because Botox is a paralyzing agent, there are a different like plethora of things that come with it. For example, one of my like estheticians told me that when she had it done, she couldn't really drink through a straw very easily, so I've not had it done, but it is something that I am looking into because it can give you that gorgeous little like bow shape to your Cupid's bow, that like upturned, cute little bijou lip shape. Right, how did it go wrong, Ellen?
Try to get rid of these little tiny lines,
Oh.
which at my age don't always go away with a quick lip flip injection right at the border. So I decided to go a little higher and possibly a little deeper. And here is the result of my attempted lip flip.
So she gave herself a lip flip.
Flop.
A lip flop.
So I can purse, not that well, and when I drink, there's a little opening there. So that means that the deeper fibers of my muscle, around my mouth, the orbicularis oris, were affected. And those fibers keep your lip against your teeth. So if you inject too deeply,
Oh no, you end up like
you're in
this.
trouble putting food in your mouth and you may drool.
Yes.
Now, the good part is this doesn't last very long because we use such small amounts.
Oh.
But I warn you, lip flip is not for the faint of heart.
Oh.
Lip flip needs to be done by somebody who really understands the lip, the aging lip, and the youthful lip. Bear that in mind when you do it.
Okay, well, that wasn't as... Why am I constantly getting Crystal Versace advertised to me? Okay, so it wasn't the most dramatic thing that could have gone wrong with a lip flip. I've seen some pretty bad Botox jobs here on the Chanel, my lovely, in which, like, this whole part has just, like, become paralyzed and people have trouble smiling and talking and all sorts. So what's the point of a lip flip? Why would you have it done? Why would you even investigate such a thing? As I mentioned earlier, it can shorten the area between your lip and your like, this bit, your septum. I don't know why I'm forgetting all the words for everything today.
Look at her. She's old.
And it can give you that really like traditionally like girly sort of like pussy lip combo situation. If you're one of the dolls or one of the boys who just loves having work done,
Very inclusive.
it gives you that like pussification factor. It makes you kind of feel a certain way, like, oh, I love it. Anytime I have my lips done, I always feel extra trans that day in the best possible way. I actually really love the look of a good lip flip when it's done. I just don't know if I can personally deal with the idea of having my lip paralyzed because it's such a place that I need to express with, especially here on YouTube as well. I don't know, I'm a little bit up, you know, I'm a little bit up for interpretation about it. I might get it done. I am the guinea pig in my friendship circle for all the newfangled beauty treatments, and I'm very excited to be that. So when it comes to a lip flip, usually a direct injection is done here with a minimal amounts of units of product. So when Botox is injected, it's actually a paralyzing agent. There are different other brands of Botox as well, not just Botox, which is a like brand name. It's a bit like in the UK we have Hoover and Vacuum. Like we call things Hoovers, even though Hoover is like the brand name, and a vacuum cleaner is actually the product. So when Botox is injected, it actually stops two nerves talking to each other in the muscle fibers. At the end of two nerves, we actually have a little bit of a gap where a little neurotransmitter can go across and continue the nerve impulse all the way along. Botox clears that out, fills them up, and stops them from working, and that's how it creates a paralyzing effect. Now, on the face, it's quite a complicated set of muscle structures. Could you believe that? Oh my goodness me, the face? Complicated? Who knew?
I know it!
Quite often, which is the case in the face, every muscle has an opposing muscle. So this is how like brow lifts work with Botox. You're actually paralyzing a muscle that holds your brows down and actually allowing then the muscles that pull it up free reign over that muscle, essentially. Botox is a case of like balancing out the muscle strength, if that makes sense. You want to paralyze the muscle that you're not interested in and allow the muscle that you are interested in a lot more power in that balance, which is what causes that gorgeous little bijou uplift. But with every treatment, of course, there is the case that it can go wrong, as Ellen Gendler, MD, has said here. I didn't actually know that it could be used for fine lines, though. I thought that would have had to be like a finessing filler. But there we are. You learn something new every day, girls.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, we've got another lip flip here by Sarah Mantin. Okay, what's this?
So I'll be fully transparent. I got a lip flip, and I just want to let you know I wouldn't bother unless you want to look like an absolute lunatic while drinking out of a straw.
Oh no! See, this is it. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. More Christopher Star. This is a perfect example of like sometimes when you have certain things done, you have to adjust the way that you live your life. This might be how she drinks from a straw for the next few months. You never know, do you? The good thing about Botox is that it is a temporary treatment. It will wear off, and it wears off a lot faster than something like filler. One of the first things I realized when I got lip filler is that I can't actually lick my entire lip, circumference, if you like. That kind of sounds a little bit strange because I'm sure most people can, but like my tongue cannot reach the top of my lip. But then again, I've got a really short tongue anyway. But when you get things done, you have to think about how it's going to affect your life. But honestly, a really good practitioner is going to be able to explain all these things to you. And to be honest, with things like YouTube and TikTok now, if you ever want a little procedure, type it in. Ooh, taking it all the way back to makeup. Okay, we have the Kia Monet here. Oh, what's this little thing here? This client is being so rude while... I can't actually read it because she's got a white top on. Okay, what's this?
This client was being rude while I was doing her makeup.
Yes?
I asked her to hold her head up multiple times, and she had an attitude.
Infuriating.
It got to a point where I no longer wanted to do her makeup anymore.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to do your makeup. So what, you just gonna stop doing my makeup? You're not holding your head right. Work with all types of clients. You can't do my makeup while
I can't hear. What's this? An argument about holding her head right?
You can just tell me that, but your head, you got an attitude, your body language,
It's not that I have an attitude. I'm just trying to get my makeup done.
Oh, I hope this is a skit.
Done if you're on your phone. You're not
Do
sitting
you want to
up.
do my makeup or not?
I don't.
Okay.
You can leave.
The audacity of her to slam my door.
Gagged! So taking it all the way back to being a professional makeup artist, how do you deal with a rude customer? What do you do? What do you do? There's only a certain amount of times I can say things like, please, stop looking at your phone. This is very much where it steps into a customer service role, because unfortunately, if you are a freelance makeup artist, quite often your customer service is what's going to get you really far in your career. Sometimes it even goes a little bit further than talent, because honestly, who wants to be around someone talented but completely rude? So, how do you politely ask someone to stop moving their head around without physically going like this, like, please, please, I'm trying to get into your eyeballs? I used to have a little bit of a rule when it came to my clients, and I would suggest they put their phone down. I know this is kind of like a difficult thing to broach sometimes because we, as a society now, are completely addicted to our phones. We just are. But I used to say, make sure you put your phone on vibrate, pop it away in your bag, or pop it on the desk because you don't want to get it covered in makeup. It's an expensive item, and there's always a chance that like dust or makeup can get onto it, and you don't want that, do you? And that way, instead of broaching the situation like,
oh my god, please take your phone away, please put your phone down, please stop playing on your phone,
it actually rephrases the situation as to more of like a, oh, just in case because you wouldn't want to get it dirty. And that way it's removing any sort of like pointedness from the conversation.
I'm a professional woman.
And if you're feeling really spicy, suggest they put it face down so that they can't see the notifications keep coming up. But if you have a client that is repeatedly rude to you, repeatedly difficult to work on, it depends on your strength of character and how far you personally want to take that client relationship. Because quite often, if the first time you've seen a client, they are rude, a little bit difficult to work with, they're uncooperative, the chances are they're just going to get worse the more times you see them because they'll get used to the way that they can behave with you and treat that like it's a normal interaction. So it really does come down to personal preference. There are tools that you can use to try and minimize and diffuse the situation, but sometimes people are just difficult, and at that point it's up to you to say, do you know what, today this isn't going to work out.
Electric chair.
Isn't working in customer-facing roles funny? Do you know what? The worst part about any job, quite often, is the public. Oh, I can't really say that. Can I say that? Can I say that? It's naughty, isn't it? Anyone who works in retail will know exactly what I mean. You have gold star clients, and then you have the ones that make you go, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Oh dear, I don't know what we're going to expect with this one. This one is, well, I can see the caption saying, my tragic makeup artist experience. Oh, by the way, if you didn't know, MUA stands for makeup artist. When I first started out in like 2007, I was like, what's an MUA? What's MUA? What's a MUA? MUA? What's a MUA? Right, here we go. Are you ready? Come on, reader media, let's hear your story.
Hi, today we're discussing why I don't think I'm ever going to go to a makeup artist ever again.
Oh.
For context, this was my face at my cousin's wedding, and then she had a makeup artist that did all of her makeup.
Okay.
And this was my face.
Okay.
The makeup artist was brown. I feel like she used good enough-ish colors, did some contour, some blush.
Okay.
But, like, what is this? I naturally, like, these are my natural brows. They're pretty thick. I don't know why she, like, filled them in. Honestly, the eyes were probably my biggest problem because where is my eyelid in all of this?
Okay.
My eyes are on the smaller side, which is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But, like, she put Gajal all the way down here, black eyeliner all the way down here, gave me the tiniest bit of highlight, and then a massive wing, and then lashes. And now it looks like I got punched in the face. My concealer is sitting nicely. My nose, okay, sure, fine. It just looks very, like, flat and pasty. She also did my hair, and I'm like, what is this parting? Why is there, like, Mount Everest triangle shape up here? I also have like a widow's peak naturally, so I understand that it can be hard to part if you've never worked with one, or if you don't have one. I don't know, it could be hard. I don't know, I'm trying to be nice. Let me show you what it looked like with the lip color, because yeah, these lips aren't done.
Okay.
You thought that a lip color would help. I would assume so. It did not. This is in reception hall lighting.
Wait,
and
hang on.
You thought that a lip color would help. I would assume so. It did not. This is in reception hall lighting, and I look so flat, like flat. The only way I can describe it is that it looks like someone punched me the day before, and then my eyes are so deep into my sockets, and then my nose is just there, and then my lips are also just like mildly disappearing and blending in with my gums. Here's another picture. Okay. Let me try to recreate this for you. Like, I just don't even know how to describe this makeup look. I think the most disappointing thing was that she was brown, and I still ended up looking like this. And now I have no faith in anyone else to do my makeup because I just don't think they'll be able to understand your features as well as you do.
Okay, so let's talk about this makeup look. I don't feel it's as bad as she is explaining it. It might be one of those things where social media makes you amp up a little bit of the title, a little bit of your feelings in order to get, like, reach on the algorithm. Totally understandable. I do it here myself. Now, saying that, you are perfectly entitled to not like makeup that someone has done on you. You are more than able to say, do you know what? No, this look is not for me. Now, Rita here mentioned a few specific key things when she's talking about how unhappy she is with the makeup. I'm not really a hairstylist, so I'm not going to really talk about like partings and hairstylists and things like that. But when it comes to the eyebrows, she said that her eyebrows were already really thick and she didn't like the way that she filled them in. Eyebrows are such a personal thing. To anyone who's interested in makeup or styling, eyebrows really make the face, and they also give you the look that you really want. It's really important as a makeup artist to ask you how you like your eyebrows. A lot of people now do not want really filled in structural eyebrows, a bit like what I have here. A lot of people don't like this. They want that more feathery, more natural looking, more sort of like clear brow gel, but a bit sculpted, maybe going up and out, a little bit like the laminated brow effect. That's not personally my favorite style, but it's not about me, it's about the client. When it comes to opening up the eye, if the client here had have said, I like my eyes to look really wide and awake and fresh. That to me is not this makeup look. This makeup look is a very like sultry, bedtime boudoir kind of eye. You know, you've got the heavy lashes, you've got the heavy eyeliner. It's not too dissimilar to what I'm actually wearing today, although I'm wearing obviously a much more exaggerated kind of 50s Hollywood style. Now, I know everyone loves their eyeliner, but there are definitely ways that you can do eyeliner, upper lid liner, that still opens up the eye, and that is keeping it as tight as possible to the upper lash line, like really tight, very thin, and then a little bit of an exaggeration on the outside. And if they don't want the dramatic look, do it in brown, do it in softer tones, do it in eyeshadow even. Lighter colored eyeshadow right in the center of the eyelid will always open up the eyes, and you can even do a little bit of a trick down here by highlighting the very center of the eye and then using a little bit of mascara to help disguise it. Something like that with a little bit of a wing liner, but with fluffy, bushier brows that perhaps tamed a little bit more with some clear brow gel, sounds a little bit more like what Rita here kind of wanted. Now, if you've ever worked as a wedding makeup artist or a bridal makeup artist or anything like that, and you're doing more than just the bride's makeup look, you automatically want to give people looks that are really impactful, that they're very happy with, but also do not take you a long amount of time. I personally find like working on weddings to be one of the most stressful parts about being a makeup artist. In fact, towards the end of having like freelance clients constantly, I kind of veered a bit away from weddings unless it was just on the bride and we could do a session beforehand to really finesse the makeup look, to really get everything that she wants out of it so that she feels confident and beautiful and amazing. When you do that, but you have to maybe work on bridesmaids or maids of honor or things like that, or do bits of makeup for other people, if you haven't already done like a test with them, the chances are they're always going to have a little bit of something to say at the end of it, which is why generally I don't do that. I don't do that anymore. Don't do it. I do also really agree with the client here about the lip. I do feel like it's not quite the most flattering tone. There could have been some warmth brought back to the face as well, but I think that might have been able to be achieved with a slightly warmer lip tone, maybe even using a warmer lip liner just to give that little bit of extra structure, because she's right in saying everything does look a little bit flat. There needs to be some warmth brought back, not necessarily depth, but a little bit of warmth. Maybe that could have been achieved with orange kind of blush tone, and that would have maybe matched a little bit better with a warmer lip and a little bit of maybe like a warmer highlight on the eye itself. Essentially what I'm trying to say here to the aspiring makeup artists out there is make sure you're asking your clients lots of questions, and color theory always pays off. Oh, who do we have here? Oh, Huda Katan of Huda Beauty. Interesting. I don't know about you guys, but I still feel a little bit salty about Huda Beauty, because a while ago she said she would never have like male models in her campaigns. So I am a little bit like, are we diverse and inclusive or not? Let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. But let's hear the long-lasting lip liner baking hack. Oh my god, her company did also take some naughty inspiration, well, a little bit more than inspiration, from the Beauty Bakery, which is one of my favorite brands. So let's watch.
I'm going to share with you guys one of my favorite hacks to keep your lip liner on all day long, even when you're wearing gloss.
Right.
Oh, I'm using a lip contour, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to layer color on top of color. I'm going to use rich brown in the lip corners. This is going to give me a little dimension.
Yes.
And then I'm going to take pinky brown and use it all over the lip.
Yes.
Next, I'm going to bake my lips, and this makes my lip liner last forever.
Oh, TikTok really wants me to watch Crystal Versace. Okay, so, right, should we talk about this technique? I am not averse to a bit of baking. I do think baking is a very easy way to get extra coverage and create a gorgeous finish, but I do also feel like it can really, really, really easily look way too cakey and way too powdery. On a side note, if you feel like your baking is kind of looking a little bit too cakey, make sure you have a hydrating setting mist, and it can really like do wonders for that. Now, when it comes to setting things that you wouldn't usually set or baking things that you wouldn't usually bake, I actually feel like Huda here hasn't really baked her lips, she's set them. And I feel like there's a difference here. Baking would mean she's put it on and left it there for ages to like really seal the deal in, which I can't help but think that it would kind of get a little bit too texturized, if you know what I mean. I do not feel like this would work very well with a liquid lipstick, but it would probably work quite well if you're going to go for that creamier option that brings an extra hydration to the lips anyway. I do absolutely adore the way that she contoured her lips though. Lip contouring is such a good technique. I do want to also point out though that this feels like one of those influencer hacks. It's very much one of those things of, oh, my lips are already in the best possible condition because I am a wealthy woman on the go with a multi-million-dollar empire who can have the perfect lips at all times anyway. Like, I would not recommend this technique for someone who perhaps has a little bit of dryness on their lips, someone who perhaps has naturally thinner lips. This might not necessarily work or be the most flattering option for you. And it might also just kind of feel a little bit uncomfortable because it's kind of drying.
That would be correct.
If you want long-lasting lip effects, there are some great alternatives to this specific technique that you can just use as products. Maybelline has some excellent long-lasting lip products, as does L'Oreal, as does MAC, as does the Beauty Bakery, in fact. They have some excellent, and they look amazing. They set beautifully. I use them here on the Chanel all the time and they last all day. In my personal opinion, if you want something to last a really, 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 really long time, I love to go down the route of apply something that's traditionally quite drying. Things that dry are gonna last a long time. Things that are moisturizing and voluminous and lovely and plumping and glossy and gorgeous and bijou and oily have a tendency to dissipate over time quite quickly. So for example, the combination that I'm actually wearing today is a really drying Maybelline matte ink, but over the top I have a hydrating balm. And this color is not coming off, but it is still somewhat glossy and it's gonna last for ages, and it feels very comfortable on my lips. Hello, Biscuit. Have you come to see me? Would you like me to bake your lips? I've never tried this technique, but I am interested in what other people have to say. So if you have tried this technique, please leave your experience in the comments box below. I'll be delighted to read.
No, thank you.
Oh, what's this? Okay, we've got another lip liner hack. Yes, what's this? Stop overlining. Stop overlining. Try this hack for fuller lips instead. Okay, so we're not going to overline. We're going to what? Are we going to lip contour? Let's have a listen from Georgina Juanita.
You want fuller lips, but you're still doing this like we did in 2016. Let me help you out, sis. It's time for a new technique. You see how this looks much fuller but more natural at the same time? Taking a brown lip liner, I'm placing a little line in like the hollow area of my lips. I know it looks really funny, but this is where you use your fingers. Blend it out using the warmth of your fingers, and what you're doing is essentially contouring your lips.
Yes.
So your lips look bigger without actually looking unnatural. I'm topping it off with a little bit of lip oil, but look how good this looks.
Yes, true. Okay, that does actually look quite cute. But I am gonna say, if you're not careful, this can very much look like you have a stain on your upper lip, and that's not good, is it?
Does it feel good?
I wouldn't try a technique like this on my lips, simply because A, they're already quite nice and voluminous, but B, putting any amount of darkness up here does immediately trigger my dysphoria, so I'm not gonna do all of that. But this is kind of an evolution of the lip contouring techniques that I've been doing for a long time, which is to put a little bit of a shadow under your bottom lip here to make the lips look more prominent, like they're kind of moved forwards a little bit. It's the same concept as with every other feature that you would contour. You put darkness underneath in order to create the illusion that your cheekbone is extruding further than it naturally is.
She's educated.
Now, I'm sort of assuming that this line up here, this blended contour line up here, is kind of designed to emulate the Russian filler style, which kind of looks a little bit like this. It creates that kind of really dramatic, almost, for lack of a better word, like a shelf. There's like a shelf of lip, if that makes sense. In person, however, I have a suspicion that contour up here on the lip would just look a little bit like you've had some chocolate milk out of the carton and haven't fixed it.
Nothing like it.
So actually the reverse of this can be easily achieved if you used something like a concealer pencil. I know NYX used to do them, I know MAC does them, and there's probably loads of other brands that do concealer pencils as well. Essentially what you would do is trace your lip shape but above where it naturally is in order to give that fullness. That real, like, light is hitting the very top of your lip and making it look further away from your face. The same concept as what you would have on your cheekbone highlight. And I'm gonna quote her on her little technique here. Using the warmth of your finger to help work those waxes in the pencil in is gonna give a really nice, subtle, natural looking effect.
She's a woman.
Again, I've not tried this, so let me know in the comments box below if you particularly like this trick. I do feel like using a lighter concealer toned pencil is probably gonna have a bit more of a flattering in real life effect though. But that's just my opinion, you don't have to listen to me. Why are you even here?
Budget cuts!
Oh my goodness me, are we evolving into a new level of scandal here on the Chanel, my lovelies? This one has the caption, "My first eyeliner tattoo." Ooh, very excited. This is something that's actually come across my zeitgeist recently of semi-permanent makeup but used for eyeliner. The similar kind of concept that you would do for microblading but for liner. I do kind of love it. I have considered it myself, but let's watch.
I'm tattooing my first eyeball today. Well, I'm tattooing
an eyeball tattoo.
How scary?
Oh no, eyeliner.
But Renee has volunteered to be my first one.
Oh, okay,
Here
so this is like
a test. We are going to do a dusty winged eyeliner. I do a tiny outline and then we numb her for 15 minutes.
Oh, numb your eyelid. Your eyelid.
That's super subtle with soft micro dusting.
Oh, that is actually very beautiful. Okay, this is not boding well for the case of me to not get this done because I love that. Look at that. That is such a gorgeous little tiny swipe of eyeliner. Recently in London, there's actually been a practitioner added to the London Trans Clinic who does like beautiful examples of winged liner. She also does like medical tattoos for trans people for like nipple placement. She also does things like, oh, if you're missing your toenail for some reason, she'll tattoo a toenail onto you. Like tattooing is actually a very interesting intersection between like beauty, cosmetic, and just like full on madness. This example here by Yasa Tattoo is so beautiful. Just that tiny little way of really creating an extra emphasis on the eyes that makes your life a lot easier when it comes to doing your wing eyeliner every single day. Now, I've personally considered this. I would love something a little bit more dramatic than this, but I would like it in brown tones because when I'm not wearing a full face of makeup, I don't want it to look like I just have like eyeliner on, like dramatic eyeliner on and nothing else, because it can kind of look a little bit, the facial feature focus on my face isn't correct. That was a tongue twister. So I always do find, however, when it comes to like tattooing this part of the face, I had a bit of a negative experience with microblading, and I do kind of wish I'd actually taken my own advice that I'm just gonna say now. When your practitioner is drawing it on your face and you're laying like this, the contours of your face will change if you are tilting your head back. For example, the contours of my eyes are pretty strong. I have a heavy orbital bone, and my orbital bone actually extends a little bit past where my eyelid falls at the very end here. So I have to change all of my eyeliner shapes to combat that and create the really upswept look that I really like. So I will always say this, make sure you do this when you are sitting in your permanent makeup tattooist chair. Make sure that you stand up and look in a mirror. Don't just look laying down, because gravity's gonna pull everything this way and make everything more flattering anyway, because something like this is gonna take a long time to fix if it goes wrong. But what a beautiful example of a little sensible daytime liner. Oh, I love it. Oh, what do we have here? Okay, so what does that caption say? Client, help! I have a huge event tonight and I have a black eye. Me, I've got you. Okay, so this looks like it's going to be a color correcting glam. I'm very excited about that. Color correction is a fundamental point about makeup artistry that you have to master if you're going to be a professional woman on the go. Okay, so Jazz MUA, let's see what she does.
Client, help! I have a huge event tonight, and I have a black eye.
Right, let's see.
Me, I got you.
Oh, gorgeous girl! Oh, gorgeous. Okay, that's obviously copyright music. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. I think she's done an excellent job here. Can we zoom in?
No.
So people can have bruises on their face or like black eyes from multiple different types of things. I must actually say the edge of this bruise is very, very, very like just completely straight. I don't know if maybe this is like a little bit of makeup mastery nonsense, maybe, I don't know. I'm not calling out it's fake. I'm not saying all social media is fake, but quite often. So when it comes to something like this, layering and setting your products is actually hugely, hugely, hugely important. In color correction, the color wheel is the first step you're gonna look at. Just study the color wheel, study, 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 and always use colors that are opposite the colors that you see. This is especially the case when it comes to things like bruising. Now, if you had any swelling, I would say probably not a good idea to wear any makeup because There are some healing processes that need to happen first, but unfortunately that's not always the case. Sometimes you just can't avoid events and you still want to look nice. Pull up the color wheel. What's opposite to the colors you can see, and then apply those products. Quite often you're going to want to go for things that are high coverage and waterproof. And layering is really, really, really key to balancing out something like a black eye. You're going to want to layer the deepest tones first and then work up to the lightest tones. And in between each layer of blending out those products, you're going to want to let that product sit. Something similar that a lot of clients I've had is really deep under eye circles here, like really dark circles. I myself have quite like deep purpley circles here as well. And the way that you combat that is by putting the concealer on, leaving it there. Leave it there. Leave it there to do its job. Not so long that it completely sets, but long enough that it's adhered to the skin enough that the pigment has settled in just enough that you're not going to immediately blend away all that coverage you've built. The one thing that I would always find very interesting about clients when I was on counter is that if you're trying to match them with a concealer, quite often they would use it and immediately rub it away and be like, well, that didn't do anything. And it's like, no, let me show you. Have a little sit down in my chair. Let's apply some of the concealer to you. Let's wait 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute maybe in some cases, and then gently blend out the area. Buffing out the edges first, and then lastly buffing in the entire area.
I'm so happy.
And the difference is astounding in a lot of cases. You might not even have to go out and get brand new concealers if you wanted to cover up a bruise like this. You might just have to use the concealers you already have, but allow them to do their job by staying on the skin before blending. Let's have another little look at the after, shall we? A beautiful after, honestly, a beautiful. I probably wouldn't have gone with such high coverage for the rest of the face like this, but of course, if you're going to have high coverage in one area, in order to balance it out, you kind of have to. There is always a little bit of give and take when it comes to makeup. If you want something high coverage, quite often it is going to show up more texture than something that's lesser coverage. Of course, if you're aiming to cover something like a bruise or a birthmark or something that has a lot of pigment to it, you're generally going to have to go for the higher coverages, which means there may be a slight compromise in texture. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. What a beautiful look though. I love the way she's done her lips. Lovely, girls. Well, my lovelies, what an absolutely bonkers collection of TikToks we've seen today. Today is, in fact, part 10, which is a special occasion, isn't it, Biscuit? Because I had no idea this would do so well. You guys are loving them. Oh, do you know what? Overnight curls, I don't know if they're worth it. Sometimes they turn out lovely, and then sometimes they do this. What's happening here?
Creepy shit!
Cyber Monday sale on iGloop for Mr. Biscuit. We have seen a lot of just about everything so far in these episodes, my lovelies. We've seen some extremely alarming allergic reactions. We've seen some lip lining hacks which just make us go like, what? And we've also heard some harrowing tales of people's experiences with makeup artists. So that's not good, is it, my loves? It does beg the question, what are we going to see today? Just what is this? I swear TikTok is just a lawless place sometimes.
I'm calling the police.
If you want to follow me over on TikTok, it is XXLuxeria. I don't post very often over there, I must admit. But if you see anything that you'd love me to react to in one of these videos, make sure you tag me in it or DM it to me. If you do not know me, my lovelies, my name is Luxeria, and this is my co-star, Biscuit. You always look like you're very uncomfortable, but you're quite happy sitting like this, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And don't you dare talk to me.
I've been a makeup artist for 16 years, and I also have a biochemistry degree because I have a fundamental interest in the way that things work. During these videos, I try and use some of my makeup expertise and perhaps pepper it in with a little bit of science as to why something does or doesn't work, or how you can get the best result from a product. Isn't that right, Mr. Biscuit?
Yeah, I love my wig.
Put a wig on your biscuit. The dishwasher is beeping.
Beautiful.
This is Mr. Biscuit's current favourite toy. It is missing limbs and missing fins and covered in fluff, but it's rubber and he loves chewing it, so I'd much rather he chew on this than anything of mine. Oh, yes. Ah. So if you hear some rather suspicious rubber squeaking in the background, just know it's Mr. Biscuit enjoying himself. All right, my lovelies, make sure you're sitting down comfortably. Grab yourself a beverage. Oh, she's back. Pop your little eye hanger right into your little TikTok hole and let's watch some unhinged TikToks, shall we, my loves? Here we go, girls. Oh, what's this first one? Okay, I see some things, some stuff and things. Do we like stuff and things? We don't know yet, do we? Let's watch.
I am not being dramatic when I say this is literally the smartest thing I have ever seen. I've had my septum pierced for about 5 years.
Hang on, I'm sorry, wait, I looked away for a split second and missed the whole thing. What's this?
I am not being dramatic when I say this is literally the smartest thing I have ever seen. I've had my septum pierced for about 5 years, and I've been struggling with eyeliner for even longer than that, so if this works... I'm going to use white face paint instead of mascara because I already have makeup on, and I think this will wipe off easier. Then even it out. Okay, do we think that worked?
I'm leaving the string there for a second just in case.
Has it worked?
Follow the line.
Follow the line.
My eyes are pretty hooded, so I might have to like kind of work around it, but fill it in. That looks promising. I always like fill in under my eye when I do eyeliner because my eyes are like kind of weird. Okay, hold on. Let me take this out. I think this worked. Hold on. String, please. And then wipe away the little bit of excess.
Wow.
In my hair. How did I get it in my hair? Whatever. What do we think? Do we think it looks even? I think it looks even.
It does
My
look
eyes are a
pretty
little bit
even.
uneven, so. But, like, look. I might have to start packing a little bit of string in my makeup bag. Look. Good hack. I will be keeping a string with me.
Oh, well, I'm quite surprised about that. I mean, who knew septum piercings could come up with something great, girls?
I could not believe it.
So, essentially, this is something I've spoken about before on the Chanel. I probably wouldn't do this as a professional makeup artist because I can't really think of a scenario in which I'd be like, oh, your little septum ring, let me get all this string out.
I feel bonita.
Like, I don't think that that would ever be appropriate, but there we go. I actually really miss my septum piercing. I miss it so much. My nose job still hasn't fully healed yet, so I'm still a little bit like, I'll wait a little while before I get my nose redone, yes. Essentially, this is creating a guideline from the edge of the nose to the edge of the eyes to create that V shape that works with your cheekbones, with your contour, and with your jawline. That's what you're doing. You're trying to mimic this V all the way up your face onto your eyeliner. One of the easiest ways you can do this is actually take your liner and press it. Let me show you. This is just a McQueen eyeliner from Yes Style. It's actually one of the really good ones. It is the waterproof tattoo pen liner. And it has a tip like this. So it's got like an actual fine liner tip. The way that I would do this is just rest it against the edge of my nose, rest it against the edge of my eye, and do like a print. I'm not going to do it now because I do in fact have eyeliner on. And that gives you the same kind of idea as using a guideline like this. We've seen it done before with tape, we've seen it done before with rulers, we've seen it done before with string, but just not actually through the septum piercing. I mean, apart from me finding it perhaps like a little bit unhygienic, perhaps, to pull string through your septum ring and then pull it out to like your eye area. Like obviously you don't really want to rub like nose juice into your eyes. That might not be the most hygienic practice. Disgusting. But I'm also not completely, like, I don't completely hate this. I think if you're someone that needs a little bit of extra help with getting your eyeliner even and getting it gorgeous and get it into a shape that works, I don't see why it wouldn't work. It's just kind of a bit shocking to see, I think. You know? You know. Gosh, it's just everything on TikTok these days.
Look at her. She's old.
Would you use this technique if you have a septum piercing? Would you? Let me know in the comments below. Right, what's the next one, girl? Watch till the end to see why I wouldn't do this again. Oh, I've been in that situation once or twice. We're gonna mute this one and we're gonna watch. So what is that? Is that a lip balm? Directly into the palette? That's not very hygienic. And it becomes a liquid liner. Oh, right, hang on, lady. Right, hang on. Are you speaking now?
Chapstick and eyeshadow. Let's do it.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with this palette. Gold eyeshadow right here.
Right.
It looks like this.
Oh,
let's apply and see what happens.
No, I wouldn't bother.
Whoa. This is gorgeous. And I still have a lot on there. So I've had this on for a little bit. As you can see, I finished the rest of my makeup. And here's why I wouldn't do this hack again.
It's gonna crease.
Look at my eyeshadow.
Of course.
Do you see how patchy it is just from moving my eyes? So in the future, I would just be applying my eyeshadow like I normally do.
Okay, so I can sort of see why that might work at first, but I also sort of think there are better options that you can do something like this. When it comes to metallic eyeshadows and you want that high coverage glam payoff, the best thing to do is actually apply it with your fingertips. Failing that, you can use one of those horrible, horrible, horrible little felt tip sponge brushes, whatever they are. Do you remember like the Dior palettes used to come with them? And I used to think, scum. They were very popular to come with like cosmetic stuff back before like the cosmetics revolution of like 2013, 2014 in the drugstore. But if you really want the ultimate payoff for a metallic shadow, what I would do is get yourself a little makeup mixing palette and use a little bit of eye base primer and then take a little bit of your metallic eyeshadow and actually mix it in with that. So it creates this kind of almost like a cream texture that will set. Most eyeshadow primers set.
I'm going to cream.
One of my favorites, which I think is going to be my favorite for all time, is the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I love it on me and I think it creates a beautiful shadow base for almost everyone that I've put it on. There's only been a couple of instances where I'm like, do you know what? No. Mixing that together to create a paste and then applying it gently to the eyes in the areas that you want. Being careful not to overload the area because creasing is always going to happen if you have too much product on there. Like chapstick mixed with eyeshadow is never going to set because the whole point is it keeps the area super moisturized. That's why we apply it to our lips. Moist.
No.
It might look amazing for like a photo or a still moment using something really glossy and mixing it with like a shadow to create that ultimate like oil slick gloss effect. It looks great in photos, but it does not wear very long. It's not got any longevity. Looks great for about 5 minutes and that's about it. Maybe not even that. Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. Okay. Taking a completely left field direction for this video. Is there anything more 2008 than this? And the thing is, I already recognize that eye. And the reason why I recognize that eye, well, should we watch it? It's because I use it as cutaways. Let's have a watch, shall we?
Are you tired of flat, boring hairstyles? Do you go through a can of hairspray trying to get that full volumized look?
Goodness
then
me, the
bump it
ozone.
up with Bump Its.
Bump Its
and
up!
get that salon-style look, fast and easy. Bump Its are the incredible self-stripping hair accessory that give you perfect style and volume.
No, I'm sorry, I have to pause it. Like, look at this advert here. I know that they're like, oh my god, plastic in your hair, great. But like, look at how big this piece of plastic is. That is such a chunky piece of plastic. And you just
Incredible self-stripping.
You expect this tiny little section of hair at the end here to like disguise a lump of plastic on your head.
I don't think.
Get a grip. What were we all collectively experiencing during the 2000s?
Delusion.
They give you perfect style and volume every time.
Perfect
Go
style
from
and volume.
flat to fabulous instantly. Imagine being able to create today's hottest hairstyles in seconds. And
Why?
they're so easy to use.
Very alien, isn't
Anyone
it?
can be a stylist.
Oh,
Simply
look at
part your
her
hair
go.
at the crown, give a little tease, insert
Tease it. I've just pissed it off.
and you're ready to go. Just
Ready
look
to
at
go?
the difference.
But where is she
Amazing.
going? Where is she going with hair like that? Where is she going?
The bins.
Hello? Just bumping it up with Bump Its.
And get that salon look every day.
wow.
You'll also get the small Bump Its.
Oh, the small
it's great
Bump
to bump
Its.
your bangs or
Oh
bump a
my
ponytail.
God, bump
and
your
the large
bang.
Bump Its. Perfect for those special occasions or when you want a little extra high volume. Plus, the easy to follow style guide. And this professional teasing
A
comb.
professional
Choose from
piece of
blonde,
plastic.
light brown, or dark brown black.
Oh, wow.
Bump it up with Bump Its.
3 options.
Remember to pick up your Bump Its today.
What is that? What was happening in the 2000s? What was all this about? What was this? Like, I never used a Bump It. I don't think I even had friends that ever used a Bump It. But when we look at the shape of this tool,
Bump
like,
It. Oh, sex.
I'm not a hairdresser, but I know a thing or two about hair. Where's the shape of this tool? Hang on. Ah, there she is. We saw a woman there going like this, like vigorously shaking her head. How is that going to stay under your hair? If you're vigorously shaking it, like it's a piece of plastic with like these little bumps on. Oh, it's obscene, isn't it? Bump Its. Imagine. All right, what do we have next? Okay, we got Julia Gizema. Oh my goodness, I can already see this is going to be quite an experience. Okay, the worst reviewed makeup artist uses Tipex on face. Tipex.
The bins.
If you guys don't know, Tipex is like whiteout. It's one of those things where when you're writing by hand and you go,
oh my god, I've made a mistake.
I've soiled my tunic.
Use Tipex to basically white it out and then write over that area. It's not designed to go on the skin, shall we say. All right, let's watch, shall we? Oh gosh, quiet. Za, za. Za, za, za. Is that it? Is that Tipex?
It's close.
I cannot tell you how badly I wanted to scream at the screen. Why is she Tipexing out her work? She put glitter on my eyelids.
That's
now
not
she's
Tipex.
Tipexing it out.
Have I missed something here? That wasn't Tipex. This product, we all know what this product is, don't we? If you were around on the internet recently, or hang on, let me find a good picture. That product, madam, is a Jeffree Star concealer.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my
Bins.
Not Tipex. But interesting, okay, maybe she wanted to use the word for like, oh, whiting out my eyelid. Why is she whiting out my eyelid? Little bit clickbait though. No say, we've all been there.
What are they gonna do? Gonna shoot me? I doubt it.
She put glitter on my eyelids. And now she's Tipexing it out.
I do find it odd that the makeup artist has put glitter on the eyelids and is then putting a concealer over the top. That's not something you will ever learn or ever pick up working in industry. Absolutely not. Oh, and then just no setting? No setting that, just straight on with the lashes. Oh, dear. Oh.
One second. She literally Tipp-Ex'd my whole face.
Oh, not only is it like, okay, we haven't seen like all of this video so far, but I have to talk about this a little bit. It is so unhygienic to go in from the product straight onto someone's face. Always, 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 as a professional makeup artist, even if you're just concerned for the hygiene and using your own products, always put it onto a makeup mixing palette first, then use a brush or a sponge or an applicator of some sort, disposable, rewashable, to apply it to the skin. You don't know how many times that wand has touched someone else's face, gone back into the product, lets the product sit and then like sweat in its own bacterial gloop.
Beautiful.
You don't know how many other people have used it. You don't know whose other skin it's been on. You don't know if those other people maybe have like a skin condition. Not good, not good. I'm not enjoying this video so far, my lovelies. Not enjoying it, no.
You're watching the BBC.
Too much. Why, are you gonna make the whole face, like, this is a heavy duty concealer as well. Oh. 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 What a vigorous technique.
I hear that's how she died.
Ready for the morgue.
I feel like she wrote like an SOS code there, like EIA. It was like some SOS code for help.
Is this fake?
Which I definitely needed.
This might be, I hope this is
time.
fake, but there are, like, it does look like a professional setup, kind of, with, like, things on the wall in the background.
Full lipstick and just this one.
You can do full lipstick, yeah.
Straight from the applicator
this one
again?
Is really nice. One second.
No, this has to be fake. This has to be fake, my loves. No, it can't be.
And glitter?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I'm saying glitter, okay? Just a little bit glitter.
Mm-hmm.
Open your eyes. Yeah. Okay, then.
It's finished?
Yeah, it's finished.
Okay, thank you so much. Like, for context, this is my skin, my hand. I'm not that white. But it doesn't look white, but trust me, I'm not this white.
Okay, I need to have a bit of a moment to think about what she's done.
I'm on my way.
So, I unfortunately do not know the context for this video. There's not like a part 3 of 5 million. It's just literally like, this is the makeup that's happening, this is going on the skin. This is it. Like, if the makeup artist here, if we're to believe that this is in fact a real video and not in any way, shape or form clickbait for the internet, naughty, then we are looking at a costume style makeup. If the makeup artist was like,
oh, for your wedding day,
I'd be like, okay, is she getting married in Alice in Wonderland?
Off with his head!
There isn't a lot of uses for white concealer. Maybe if you're doing something very specific or you have really fair skin and need that little extra help in creating those gorgeous highlights on your face. White concealer isn't really meant to be applied all over the face. Really? I don't think I've ever really used that in a situation that calls for actual, like, glamour makeup in anywhere of my career, shall we say. Again, I just can't understand why this makeup artist would put glitter on an eyelid and then be like, I'm just gonna remove that, actually, by going over it with white concealer, and then not set the concealer, but put more glitter on top. I mean, it's not for me, but I hope this is clickbaity video. Also, it wasn't Tipp-Ex. It wasn't Tipp-Ex. It was Jemima Starship Concealer in white. I think that was a sneaky. Right, what's this one? Next, we have one by NYX Cosmetics. Oh, you've seen Girl Dinner and Girl Math, but this is Girl Fixing. Okay, what do we have? Oh, she's eyelinering a car? Okay, women in STEM. What a beautiful video. Sorry. Right, okay, no. I hope you're not going to put that eyeliner back on your eye after this. Right, what is this? Like, sure. She's out driving in her car. She's gone, oh, Mary, lovely to see you. Smash. And then decided to go, oh my God, what have I got in this bag? A NYX eyeliner. Oh, quickly. The insurance won't know anything.
Oh, wow. Scandalous.
Claimed and shamed.
Tonight on 999.
A little bit of treason. Listen, we've done... I don't really feel like you should be putting eyeliner onto your car. I mean, sure, it's not gonna hurt your car, it's not gonna hurt you, but I would not then be like, one for the car, one for me.
Good heavens.
The next one we have here is by Makeup 780, and this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous eyeliner. I sort of feel like, okay, I'll hold my tongue, let's watch. Wrong drawing method, okay. Oh, I see, artificial lines. Right, yes, yes. I actually feel like this might be copyright music, so we're gonna mute that. Right, so she's lined the bottom, yes, and what's this? We're going to use a... Yes, okay, to rest your... Yes, so you don't disturb the makeup underneath. Oh, and to pull it down, okay, yes. We've created a faux underneath. Ah, a little, like, bounce for a little womanly, delicate little woman. What are they called? Eyelashes. Okay, that's quite sweet. We're going a bit over the top. Okay, that's cute. I quite like that. Oh, do you know that the idea of drawing on artificial lashes on your lower eyelid has been around forever? The first time I think I saw it ever, like, mainstream, I might be wrong in this, is on Marilyn Monroe. She actually used to have, like, it was more of an eyeshadow technique. She would use, like, a dark shadow right on the edge to sort of give that illusion that her lashes would go out a little bit further underneath, creating an extra shadow. In fact, have I done it today? Where's my mirror? Have I got mine on? Yes, I've done it today. God, I've been wearing makeup for ages. You can see it's just a little bit of an illusion of extra lashes on the underside of your eye. Underneath mascara will create just a little bit of an illusion of a fuller lower lash line. It's not for everyone, and of course, when you are really close to someone, you can tell that they are drawn on. But they're a wonderful way. Like, if I'm this far away from you in a video, I don't think you'd be able to tell that these little lashes back here are actually artificial and not really there.
A witch.
If you want to try this in a way that's going to look even more natural or even more neutral, shall we say, you can use a brown liner, the same sort of one that you would use for an eyebrow, or you could even use grey. And as I was saying earlier, a little bit of eyeshadow in the same sort of pattern will create really, really gorgeous results. I love this. It's an easy way of enlarging the eye without actually putting extra lashes onto the eye, because sometimes they're a little bit uncomfortable. But yes, I love it. I love it, girl. Right, what's this? The struggle is real.
That eyeliner's looking good. Oh, I can't see it.
Oh.
That's all right. I'll just make it thicker. What the hell? I still can't see it. I am going to make this so thick. Fuck, I still can't see it.
Oh,
well, I might
no.
as well just cover my eye black and look like a panda. It's a line. Oh my gosh, I can see it. Okay, it's time for eyeshadow. Ooh, that's some smoky eyeshadow. I can't see it.
Oh, relatable content. Relatable content. So, all right. Should we talk about something? Should we talk about monolids, deep set eyes, anyone with hooded lids? Like, should we talk about the struggle for a second? So, before my surgery, in fact, actually, you can still kind of see it now. If I look straight at you, without tilting my head too far down, if I look straight at you, my eyelids kind of disappear, although you can actually see them a lot more now since I had my orbital rims shaved down during my FFS procedure. Isn't science amazing? So, what can you do to actually get a liner if your eyelid is in some way covering the very top part of your lash line? Unfortunately, sometimes it does just mean that the type of eyeshadow and the type of eyeliner look that you want to go for might just not work for your eye shape. If you find yourself in the situation in which your eyelid is actually fully covering like your upper lash line, you have to transform the eyeliner look from something that's a bit more up to something that's a bit more out. In fact, actually, perhaps even this septum trick would work quite well for this. You may find that it might actually be a lot more of a flattering look to extend the eyeliner from the lower lash line out. Depending on the contour of your orbital rim bone, you may also have to angle this liner slightly down or curve it slightly round like that so that when you look straight on, it creates a beautiful upswing like that. Unfortunately, this is just one of those cases where you need to sit down and practice. And if you feel really, really, really lost, go out there and follow a makeup artist online who has the same eye shape to you, and they will be full of tips and tricks. For my deep set eye girlies out there, I don't contour away my deep set eyes. I actually enhance the depth by creating more rounded shapes with shadows, with light, with dark, and then extend the very edge of my liner outwards. And that's what helps create the larger eye outwards as well as upwards. Oh, it's a lot, isn't it, my lovelies? It's a lot. Who knew sparkly rocks from the ground could be this complicated? She's got a B-Tech! Right, what do we have here? Okay, the Lauren Elizabeth with what's this? A foundation routine? Contour before foundation? Interesting. Let's watch. Or is this copyright music? Right, what's this? What?
This is absolutely terrifying.
Terrifying?
So we're gonna try it.
Okay.
I think I might as well just turn this into a series. So this is part 3 of testing unique foundation routine.
Oh.
I don't own liquid blush, so we're just gonna use lipstick.
Oh.
Okay. Here we go.
Well, liquid blush isn't usually as pigmented as liquid lipstick, and it doesn't usually dry quite as quickly. Oh, look, see?
This sponge wasn't working.
Already a
so
problem,
I'm
girls.
regretting this. Oh my gosh. Like, you know how little kids get into their mom's makeup bags? Yeah. I'm using the concealer from Kylie Cosmetics.
Right. I don't think this is going to
the
work.
Blends
It's all
Contour.
too dry. Did she say that was contour? That's very fair.
I'm
for
so
a
scared to
contour.
blend this out.
Right, okay.
Yeah, right. The foundation better fix this.
Oh, I hate watching this.
Wait, hold on. Okay, I love it.
It's always wanting me to watch Crystal Versace.
Ow.
I think maybe my TikTok is like, you really need to watch her. All you talk about is makeup, girls.
I believe I am psychic.
So to be fair, a lot of these hacks are meant to give you results that are A, faster, or B, more exciting than you usually would have. The foundation she's applied here is clearly a liquid full coverage. So it can cover all of that redness that you've put underneath, because what is the benefit of having red underneath if you're just going to cover it all with full coverage foundation? You are adding an extra step into your makeup routine that won't necessarily give you anything back. I must admit, she did use lipstick rather than liquid blush here. I still don't really see the benefit of applying an entire face of liquid blush when you could just apply that liquid blush into wet foundation and it would give you the same result as like a soft tinted kissed by the cold on a winter's evening. She's got a B-Tech, but you'd be applying a lot less product onto your face. Therefore, wasting less time, wasting less money, and falling for a trend. I don't know. Sometimes a lot of these makeup hacks that we see just aren't worth it. The whole point of a hack, as I say, is to save time, save money, or save a technique or something, and none of that was achieved here. But honestly, do what you want, my lovelies. If you want to cover your whole face in liquid blush before you put on your foundation, go ahead, my loves. I'm not gonna cancel you on Twitter.
Arrest her!
If you do use this technique, let me know in the comments box below what you think about it, like why you use it, what benefits does it give to the overall look, because I can't really see the point right now. Oh, wait.
Naughty mummy.
Oh, what is this? Makeup by Anissa. Oh. Oh dear, right, okay, I need to hit, what's this? What is this?
Okay, one size, we gotta talk.
One size?
I just bought this setting spray from Sephora yesterday.
Right.
I literally just sprayed it on my face. I don't... What is happening? This is not okay. Did I get a defective bottle or something? Like, oh my god. What happened? I had to redo my makeup, but don't get me wrong, I'm still gonna buy that setting spray. But I just want to know what happened.
Okay, right. Okay, so I actually have a theory as to why this has happened. Let's take it back to something like spray-on deodorant. When you spray on deodorant and you get it too close to your skin, it kind of creates that like whiteness. There's like a white film. Technically, this is an ingredient, quite often something like magnesium, designed to stop sweat or designed to absorb moisture or something like that. So I have a theory that inside the one size setting spray, there's going to be either like liquid suspended powder in the form of silicone or something designed to like absorb excess oils or prevent excess oils from being produced from the skin. Something in a similar akin vein to like magnesium that you would find in, or is it magnesium or is it aluminium? She's got a B-Tech that you would find in like antiperspirants, those sorts of things. This is technically not an acceptable outcome. Absolutely not an acceptable outcome for a product that you have bought on the high street and go, because people expect things to work, don't they? So you're not gonna be like, oh my god, what? I've actually seen this happen with another product previously, but it wasn't like an aerosol product. It was like a pump spray, and it was essentially a super mattifying spray. It contains suspended silica that you could then actually see on the skin. Now, I don't know if it's one of these things of perhaps this product has been sitting on the shelf for too long and it's become a little bit separated in the bottle. Maybe she hasn't shaken it up enough. Maybe something like that. Maybe it's too much product, too close to the skin, something like that. All I can say is this seems like a defective situation. And if it's this easy to create a problem, perhaps this product needs to be looked at. I've never used it though, but I do see a lot of people really enjoying one size, especially the powder foundations and the like makeup dissolving spray. That seems like an excellent idea as well. I don't know why this is very giving me like dry shampoo, like drying out agents. There's got to be some sort of like oil control agent that's just gone a little bit wrong in this product. So I'm actually on the One Size website now looking at the ingredients for this On Till Dawn mattifying waterproof setting spray, and the 6 ingredient is magnesium carbonate. That is like an oil control, sweat control ingredient. I have a feeling that's what might be causing the problem. There's also a copolymer in there a little bit further down before water. I wonder if maybe that could also be causing a problem, because copolymer is it's actually a form of like acrylic that's meant to like thicken things. You'd usually see it in something like lotions as a pH regulated thickener to give that like luxury feel. So I wonder if maybe something in that product is not happening right. The formulation for some reason has become destabilized. But that's my little science woman. Right, what do we have next from Cassandra Marin, girls?
Carve top brow, carve bottom brow.
Carve the
on
top,
side, middle,
carve the bottom.
Fall over lid, forehead, bridge of nose, cupid's bow, chin. Concealer on inner corner, concealer on outer corner, joined together. And other side. Concealer below jawline, cream contour on forehead, cheekbones, jawline, sides of nose, eye crease, and other side. Blending from top to bottom. Forehead, eyes, nose contour, under eyes, cheekbones, cupid's bow, chin. Add a little bit of your foundation. Blend everywhere. Some liquid blush. Blend. Fill in eyebrows. Set under eyes, the cheekbones. Brown eyeshadow. Nude eyeshadow. Shadow wing. A pair of lashes. Powder bronzer. Blush. Lip liner. Lipstick.
I mean, I'm absolutely gobsmacked there. Okay, lovely final look, sure, but this is a lot of product to put on the skin. She already had amazing quality skin. Quality? Is that the word I'm looking for?
No.
Look, if we go back to the beginning of the video, you can see here, she's got gorgeous, fresh skin. There is a weird little TikTok filter. I swear, just on every TikTok video we see, there's always some sort of weird little filter. Don't know why. I'm going to tell you the reason why I do not like carving out the brow in such a strong way with so much concealer, because if we look really close on one of the last little images, you can see this area here in her eyebrow, it's her natural skin color showing through. And it's a lot more pink-based hue than the warmer, more yellow-toned foundation concealer product she's used around the outside of that brow. And to me, as a professional makeup artist, when I meet someone like this in person, I don't know why my eyes are immediately drawn to their eyebrows, and I'm like, I can see your natural skin color, and it's not the same as the foundation that you're wearing. There are some cases in which that's gonna kind of happen, like if you ever wear fake tan, or if your face is just a different color from the rest of your body, sometimes it just happens. But I just think it looks like so much product is on the skin, because there's this really sharp line between the natural skin tone and the eyebrow hairs and everything. To me, it just looks a little bit unfinished. There's no blending, there's no care taken to really get this product worked into the skin and looking beautiful and flawless. When I see this much contour, this much concealer, this much like bronzer happening on the skin, and then going to blend it, that product has nowhere to go. It has nowhere to blend, because part of the point of blending product is you're moving an area of high density product into a lower density area. So to get that like gorgeous gradient on a contour, or to get that uplift from a concealer underneath the eye, you want the heaviest parts to be here and here. If you're applying a thick layer all around, you've got nowhere to blend it to. It's one of these things that might look really great in photos after a little bit of retouching, but in person, it really looks like the skin is just overloaded. I am, however, a fan of like, you do you. You really do you. If you want to wear this much makeup on a daily basis because it brings you confidence or it makes you feel a certain way, you can do that. It's absolutely fine. As a professional makeup artist though, it does feel a little bit what's an analogy I can use here? Like, if you have a hammer, everything's a nail. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like, you're putting too much into it. You're thinking too much. You're doing too much. Scale it back a little bit and add more if you need it. It's always better to be able to be in the position where you can add more than take it away. Makeup like this doesn't usually last very long either. It doesn't wear very nicely on the skin. Because the skin has nowhere to like produce oils or to move very much, the makeup on top of that is just gonna crack and it's gonna start to gather in areas. It's gonna start to break down. It's just not not going to look the same as she's just applied it as it will 8 hours later, 10 hours later. My personal favorite area of makeup is getting things to be as waterproof as possible, as long wearing as possible, and to look almost as identical as when you first applied that product. But in saying that, my loves, I do want to say she picked a gorgeous color for her eyeliner. I think it really complements the shape of her eye and her natural brown eyes gorgeously. Beautiful, love it.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, what's this one? Oh, are we putting more red on the skin? What's this?
Listen, I heard through the grapevine that you've got a thing for Cal.
Is this Carmen?
Oh no, who told you that? Just the grapevine.
Right.
There's something you should probably know.
Right.
Oh man, this is hard. The thing is, me and Kyle are kind of, you know, together.
Oh.
Yeah, he's my man. I'm more out than Kyle is, but it sucks because he acts like we're not a couple at school because he's embarrassed, but we get home and he's the best boyfriend I've ever had.
This is so distracting.
Wow, I'm sorry. I totally respect that. Hey, thanks a lot for telling me.
Cool. Just, you know, don't touch me because I'm not into girls, so it kind of grosses me out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, cool. Anyway, thanks a lot, and just, you know, stay away from my man, bitch.
Okay, well, that was the crossover we didn't need. South Park have really done everything at this point, haven't they? I stopped watching a very long time ago, so I don't know if Cartman and Stan are actually in a relationship. But then again, these characters are based in school, so I guess anything can happen, can't they?
We're drunk! Really drunk!
In the end, I think this is actually quite a cute little look. Nice little butterfly for social media. One of the things I easily overlook in my makeup looks is that you can shift the way that an entire makeup look looks or reads if you use a slightly different tone of highlighter. So here she put a little bit of like a bluey purpley highlighter across the cheekbone, across her décolletage, and a little bit under the eyebrow as well. Maybe not necessarily something that everyone wants to look for in a day wear look, but you can add a little bit of excitement to an evening look, can't you, by just shifting the tone of a highlighter.
You lock me in the cellar and feed me pins! Pins! Pins!
I need to remember that in future. Must remind myself. Right, what do we have? Oh my god. Always patch test hair before dyeing. Oh. Oh no, is this a PPD reaction? Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare, honestly. What are you meant to do in this situation apart from go to the... Can we pause it, please? I want to look. Wait, what can you do in this situation apart from going to the emergency room? There's not really a lot you can do, is there? So, beware of PPD in certain types of hair dyes, and also I think it's actually used as like a henna substitute in certain areas of the world. It's not. If this is a PPD reaction, which it kind of looks like, PPD can cause a form of quite a severe acute contact dermatitis, and it can be quite a severe reaction. Annoyingly, PPD, its full name is paraphenylene diamine. It's actually a class of like allergens which has a really unique quality about it, shall we say. She's a problematic one, she is. She's not just that frenemy that's like, you look great. She'll actually poison everyone else against you. PPD has a very odd relationship with other things that are very, very similar to it. So if you have a reaction to PPD, it can induce further reactions to chemicals that are of a similar nature, but wouldn't necessarily cause a reaction by themselves. She's a very toxic creature. We don't necessarily want her anywhere near our beauty products. It's also one of those things where I'm even surprised it was even used in products in the first place, because it has a really high rate of becoming a problem. Like, it's not just a rare allergy, it's actually quite a common allergy. So it doesn't really make any sense as to why it was on the market in the first place. Very odd. Gosh, that swelling is rather intense though, isn't it? I bet that took a little while to go as well. Yes, always patch test your hair dye if you're using something new, or if you see the words new and improved formula on the box, because it means something's changed. And you can never be truly sure if something's changed that you're going to be okay with the new formula. Beauty products, honestly, if they didn't keep us beautiful, we'd just all cry, wouldn't we? Right, what's this? What's this? Oh, hang on a minute, sir. Hang on a minute, I think I already see what this might be, but let's watch. Okay, Cindy Ruth 5. Oh, no. Copyright music. Okay, what's that? Oh! Pop goes the weasel. Oh, you poor thing. Is that vascular occlusion? Looks like a bit of vascular occlusion caused by a hyaluronic acid pen. So, my lovelies, if you've wanted to go for lip filler and you've ever just find yourself Googling, can I do lip fillers at home? No. You will quite often see this product pop up called a hyaluron pen or a hyaluronic acid pen, DIY filler pen, plumping pen, something like that. Essentially, it uses a form of technology which fires hyaluronic acid through the skin to an area to fill it out, therefore not needing any needles, and therefore it's marketed as like a do it yourself at home. Just press it on, press go, and pump it up, girls. Let me explain to you why this is a terrible, terrible, terrible idea. When you go to a filler practitioner, a respectable filler practitioner, might I add, they're gonna know exactly where that filler needs to be placed very carefully in order to get the maximum impact effect. That is also gonna look like what you want it to look like. When you push something like the hyaluronic pen right up against the skin and just press go, where's that filler going? You don't know. You don't know how deep it's going. You don't know which area it's going to go to. You don't know how far up, down, left, right it's spreading. The technology has been utilized for other things which are, of course, very important, like needle-free vaccines, needle-free insulin. I think there's also a couple of other ones that I'm missing in there. But the main problem with this pen is that you cannot control where it goes, and therefore complications like this may occur when a vein gets disrupted by hyaluronic acid and it swells up and it bruises. This product, my lovely, is not for me. But I must actually say, her eye colour is drop dead gorgeous. Look at that. Demon Queen. Right, what do we have next, my lovely? Have we stepped into lip filler territory here? Oh, where would we be without a lip filler gone wrong? Right, okay, let's listen to Brenda Hayes' story, shall we? Oh.
So I tried out this new lip injection.
Okay.
At this lady's clinic that I went to, and I don't know if I like it.
Oh, she's a comedy queen. Oh no, is that it? Okay, so what is this? Oh no, so okay, it just kind of looks like she's had a particularly bad allergic reaction to a new filler of some sort. Unfortunately, this is the thing about fillers, Botox, anything like that. If you find a brand that works for you, don't really veer away from that brand, to be fair. A, it's not the best option to have multiple different types of filler in your skin anyway, due to some pretty rare complications that can arise from that situation, but also, different formulas utilize different types of ingredients manufactured to different levels. You might find that there's a certain type of hyaluronic acid filler versus another type of hyaluronic acid filler. Both say 100% hyaluronic acid filler, but you don't know where they were produced. You don't know what else was produced in the same sort of manufacturing area as them. You don't know where the components have come from for that. You don't even know where the needles are from. Granted, these are all standardized things that should not vary, but sometimes they do. And then we can have situations like this arise. But as I always say, sometimes the body is just a bit weird and can be like, do you know what, this time? No. Go shit your pants, girl.
Creepy shit!
The body. Can't live with her, can't live without.
She's dead.
My name is Luxeria, and this is my co-host, Mr. Biscuit. Yes. I have been a makeup artist for 16 years. It'll be 17 years this year. And I also have a biochemistry degree because I have a fundamental interest in the way things work. Isn't that right, Biscuit? Yes! And this is the series here on my channel where I react to some of the most unhinged videos available on beauty TikTok.
I can't wait to die.
It could be hacks, it could be tutorials, it could be weird little tips and tricks, or even just a PSA, public service anus.
How vile.
If you want to follow me over on TikTok, it is xxluxeria. Feel free to tag me in any such nonsense you see over there in the beauty world. With that being said, my lovelies, we've seen some unhinged things already in this little series, haven't we?
Fillers gone wrong, girls.
That's correct, Biscuit. We have seen a lot of fillers gone wrong. With that being said, my lovelies, grab yourself a beverage. Today I'm on the Ultra Rosa. Pop your Ohrhanger right into your little TikTok hole. Yes, it fits nicely.
Don't tell me what to do.
And let's watch some unhinged TikTok fails, shan't we, Biscuit? Okay, I already see some exciting things going on with this one. Okay, what went wrong with my under eye filler and how to avoid it by Natural Plastics? Starting off strong, are we this time, my lovelies? Let's have a watch.
What went wrong with my under eye filler and how to avoid it?
Right.
As you can see when I smile, there is a large bulge underneath the left side of my dark circles.
Oh no.
It's not as noticeable on my right side, but it is still there.
Oh.
This is known as the Tyndall effect, which resulted from my injector improperly placing my filler too superficially under the skin and going underneath my dark circles instead of above them, resulting in them looking more pronounced.
Oh no.
Make sure you go to an experienced injector, and if something looks off, say something. Don't spend extra time and money getting them dissolved like me.
Yes, I will agree with that. So, under eye filler, my loves. Goodness me. I myself am no stranger to a bit of filler, but it can go wrong. I have had some filler go wrong, actually, in my life, mainly on my lips, but I've also had a little bit of an experience elsewhere, my lovely. So I have also had under-eye filler. Under-eye filler in the UK can only be done by one specific brand of filler. I think is it TEESPRING? She's got a B-Tech. It's the only one licensed in the UK for use under the eye. And do you know what I wish I knew before I'd got under-eye filler myself, my lovelies? I wish I'd learned how invasive it is. Now I go to an excellent practitioner who can actually do it beautifully and I don't feel violated or anything. But the first time that I had my under-eye fillers done, my lovelies, I was like, oh, this is a horrible experience. It's done with something called a cannula, which looks like this. A cannula is a kind of needle that doesn't have a sharp edge, and the fluid does not actually come out of the end of the needle. It kind of comes out of this little, like, side hole. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that.
Sucking dick and cock.
Disgusting, no say. An under-eye filler actually goes in through an injection hole made out here. The reason why you don't go straight in with filler is because right here there are some really important veins, arteries, capillaries, all sorts, which can really get messed up if they are pierced. Under-eye filler goes in from the outside, and then your practitioner should know to gently place filler in the area that is most sunken on the eye socket, and also, in some cases, by creating that extra depth there, you can actually alleviate dark circles. The reason why we have, like, prominent dark circles here is because the blood is really close to the surface of the skin is thinner, whereas, you know, like on your cheek, when you just have, like, nice skin colour, the blood is a lot deeper in, and you've got, like, fat pockets and all sorts there. As we age, our under eyes do, in fact, change shape over time. Sad reality of being a human being on this planet. But under-eye filler, when done well, can actually provide a huge burst of like a youthful, fresher appearance. I don't know if you can see it on my eyes. I can't remember which side it is, but one side, you can actually see a little bit of my under-eye filler. Where is it? Is it that side? I think it's that side. If I tilt my head up and down, maybe you can see it. Maybe it's this side. I forget which side of my face it is. But you can see a very slight bump, which I'm not actually that fussed about. I know in about 6 months' time, that area will have dissolved and it will be time for me to get a top-up. So unfortunately, when it comes to under-eye fillers, not everyone is an ideal candidate, but always make sure you do your research properly, because sometimes you do get the Tyndall effect, which is where you can see the filler superficially underneath the skin, and nobody really wants that, do they? No. Well, I didn't expect to be talking about under-eye filler today, no. Oh, we've got a foam applique masterclass to the face. This one is 2 minutes long, oh my goodness. By Ask Ellen Beauty. What is this? Let's have a listen, shall we?
My makeup lesson didn't turn up, so I'm going to teach you what I would have taught her.
Okay.
TV makeup edition.
TV makeup
has become a lot harder in recent years.
Oh.
When I started out, you just whacked it on heavy and powdered them down. These days, we have every makeup artist's worst nightmare. HD cameras. I don't know who decided we needed to see individual nose hairs, but here we are. This means we need full coverage glam with high precision.
Yes.
Anything that says HD is your friend.
Yes.
All discoloration must be extirpated.
Yes.
I don't want to see this. Neutralise in here. A little blush to map the look. You know
Yes.
the drill. Minimal blending.
I do actually just want to say here, HD is an older technology now, interestingly enough. Like, I don't film in HD. I film in 6K and above. But I will agree that the makeup that you do for like cinema or TV or anything like that is a little bit different to how you would do your makeup in like a day-to-day basis. So I'm very interested to hear more. Minimal blending I heard there, which personally not gonna quite agree with, but we'll see.
Stripey. 2 foundations. The darker one needs to match your body.
Yes.
Starting with the darker sections, you want to blend the stripes, not annihilate them. Lighter colour, minimal product. We love cake, but not on the face. We're going to let this air dry. We'll come back to him in a minute. Time for brows, and you need a magnifying mirror. Fluffy brows can look unkempt on camera, and
Yes.
people who watch television are old. I recommend a more structured brow. Little
Yes.
eye base so nothing moves under the hot lights.
Yes, yes.
This is Mac Paint Pot and she's still the GOAT. There's a reason why
Paint
we
Pot,
all
yes.
still carry this in our kits.
Yes.
I'm for eyes and it's all about neutrals. Place your crease with your eye open. Carve out the lid. Think 90s smoky eye. Little liner. Little mascara. We need lashes with an invisible band.
Yes.
Time to set. HD powder. HD powders have gotten a bad rap because they can cause flashback on the red carpet.
Yes.
This is a shame because in person and on video, almost invisible.
Yes.
This is no filter. Where are my pores? Do the
Gone,
other
girls. But this is
side.
TikTok,
I
so
know you
everybody's
like glow,
filtered.
But you must mat down the T. Shiny skin looks white on television. Add
Yes.
some bronze and blush if you want it. Obsessed with this colour. Add some lips. This is with beauty mode and 0 filter. Lights, camera, action.
Oh, yes, oh no, I like that. Oh, I like, yes, okay, yes. Let's talk about makeup for televisione, shall we, my lovelies? Yes. One thing that you're gonna have to do if you want to become a makeup artist or someone that's just really confident with their makeup is learning where to do certain types of makeup for what sort of thing that you're doing. I've only done makeup for television, probably less than 5 times in my life. But the way that I paint my face for my YouTube channel is more of a way that you would do it for cinema. Does that make sense? Are you interested? If I piqued your interest, well, have a little listen, my lovelies. When it comes to doing makeup for TV or for cinema or anything like that, you've got to really understand 2 separate things: minimizing texture and color harmony. When you are filming on something like what I am filming on, which is a Canon cinema camera, there's this magical little thing known as color grading, which means you have to be very, very, very careful about the kind of colors you use on the skin because they can become really blown out, really white, or just way too oversaturated. When I first switched to this camera, you can go back and see some of my older videos, and I was really learning about what color grading is and how it can affect the way that an entire piece. You'll quite often see that my blush there looks incredibly intense, rather than a subtle little kiss of color, because I had to up the saturation in order to make the colors look like real colors. So sometimes when you are color grading, you'll see something like skin tone and be like, oh, that needs to be a bit more like skin tone, and then everything on top of that skin tone becomes more vibrant because of that. And that is something that you learn over time when you become a lot more confident with your skills. The way that I do my makeup for cinema environments is to think a little bit more muted. When it comes to bronzers, you want to think a little bit more muted than a little bit more intense. Intense can look absolutely beautiful during photo shoots, or maybe if you're on location. If you're in studio lighting, the chances are that really super intense bronzer is just going to look straight up neon orange. And depending on the kind of look you go for, that's generally not what you want. Something you also have to consider is lighting placement. When I was working in studios, my lovelies, I would always try and scout the studio, and there's a reason. If you have nice flat lighting straight ahead from a key light that's right on top of the camera, you're going to have to try and bring depth back to the cheeks and also to the eyes. Whereas if you have a key light that's off to one side and you're creating that gorgeous little Rembrandt effect with the shadows underneath one eye, the chances are that you're probably going to want your beauty makeup to minimize texture. That is something where HD setting powders come in beautifully because they are silicone, and silicone has a wonderful way of reflecting light in a really uniform manner. So yes, Ask Ellen Beauty, I do quite like this video actually. I love talking about makeup and how it changes for each environment that you're in, because quite a lot of the times we're seeing right now, event photography is often retouched in post-production, and therefore it kind of really doesn't matter if there are some makeup faux pas, because it's probably gonna be corrected in post anyway. But video is so unforgiving. I can't believe we're just about to enter the era of 12K cameras and 12K screens. That kind of frightens me, because already in 6K and above, I'm kind of like, please don't look at me too much.
She's dead.
Right, who's next? Who's next? Right, who's this? More from Mina. Ooh, what do we have here? I've been seeing a lot of videos. Me too.
I've been seeing a lot of videos about underpainting, and today
Right.
I'm trying it.
Oh,
It's when you put
underpainting.
concealer, contour, and blush under your foundation. I've applied everything, now I'm gonna blend. I'm not sure if I was supposed to blend all of this out. I might as well keep going. Now that everything's on, I'm taking my
is
foundation.
fast.
Applying on my hand
Jojo
rather than my
Amouage.
face, working it into the sponge, and buff it into your face. I don't think I did this right. I don't see how the underpainting shines through. It just looks like foundation's on my face. I have a problem where I think I can do everything on the first try, and my ego gets really hurt if I can't. This is one of those situations.
That's relatable. Most relatable TikTok
Primer,
ever.
mascara. My mascara doesn't budge when I wear this. I don't know what they put in this mascara, but wow.
this is a
What am I
very
doing?
swift
Hope
video,
this
isn't
looks good. Well, I probably won't wear this out, but it was fun to try. But yeah, this is the face.
It's really nice. Okay, wait. Let me see. So, underpainting. One of my favorite ways of making really dramatic makeup look like you were born with it, girls. Underpainting has a bit of like a misnomer in the name. So, I think that there is a variation of technique when it comes to underpainting. One would assume that underpainting means that you paint under your foundation, and I think this is a little bit misconstrued, because I wouldn't say that's quite correct. At least in my personal opinion. Other makeup artists out there in the comments, you might disagree. Underpainting for me means painting everything into your foundation. Replicating your natural features, but in like shadow and light, all at the same time. The way that I start my underpainting is I'll go in with my favorite foundation, the one that I always use on camera, which you will always see me here because it gives me such a flawless high coverage base that lasts beautifully under these lights. I can film for hours and hours and hours without having to retouch or anything like that. Estee Lauder Double Wear. I do absolutely adore this foundation. I have never found anything that comes even close to it. A light layer all over the skin. However, I do not take it up under the eyes. Instead, under the eyes, I will put my concealer right up into the inner corner. I also use the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer because that is actually also phenomenal. I will then apply a liquid contour across my cheekbone. This changes as and when I'm feeling like it. I feel like I haven't found that like holy grail liquid contour still after all these years. I've tried many different variations, shall we say. Actually, what I'm using at the moment is L'Oreal Infallible Concealer in the shade 340. I do a tiny dot here and I do a tiny dot here into my wet foundation. With the other side of my sponge, I blend it in so that it goes across my cheekbone, up into my hairline, and a little bit down the jaw. Using a high coverage concealer in this way allows it to be seen through the final step, which is setting. So, before I start setting everything, I apply a powder highlighter just to the very tippy tops of my cheekbones. And then I go in with powder all over the face. Set the areas underneath here with a tiny little fluffy brush just so that you know you're not absolutely missing anywhere, and then set the rest of the face. And in this process, you will be applying your powder over the top of your highlighter, your contour, everything, and it gives it a very slightly muted effect, just like how shadows and highlights would happen in nature. And this goes back to my earlier point, actually. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing on camera, I will actually add an extra layer of like powder bronzer just to the little bits of my cheekbones to bring some warmth back to the face, because sometimes powder can mute it a little bit too much, but generally that's the key to underpainting. You can also use a little bit of liquid blush if you would like. I don't tend to wear blush very often.
She's dead to you now.
And this way, as you've blended everything into your skin and it's all set under one uniform layer of powder, you haven't overloaded the skin with too much product, which means it's going to last. And also it gives that kind of vibe of enhanced from within.
A witch.
My favorite. I love it. Absolutely love it. I think the reason why Mina's technique here didn't really work is because she used the Giorgio Armani, which is a really high coverage foundation, over the top of all of that detailing that she's done. Oh, it's all very scientific here on the Chanel, my lovelies. Makeup, who knew? Right, what's this one? Okay, this one is 5 seconds long. Are you ready? When you pay $190 for lashes and your esthetician rips them off. No, that is the worst thing. No, stop. I hope that they didn't actually just get fully ripped off, because that looks, look at that, the state of that.
We're gonna die.
That to me is like a supremely, what's the word I'm gonna look for here that's not too offensive but also accurately describes the way I feel about this? A very unprofessional method of doing a facial, shall we say. I'm not an esthetician, but I'm pretty sure that the #1 rule is avoid eyebrows and avoid the eyes.
Well, yes.
Estheticians here in the comments, shed some illumination, please, I'm begging you. The glue that is used for like individual lashes is so strong because it's designed to be worn for like 4 to 6 weeks, depending on if you get infills or the such like. So the idea that something's just attached to those eyelashes and just fully clawing that lid away from the ball makes something in my spine turn to jelly? I don't like that. No, we're not doing all that. This is not the energy we want to take sense for. No, it's not. No, goodbye. Right, what's this? My goodness. This is by Grayzinda City. Grayzinda City. Right, should we have a look? Right, what is this?
I went to the nail salon, my hometown nail salon, where gel manicures are $25, and then there was a lady coming around asking if I wanted my eyebrows tinted, and I said how much, and she said $8. So if you were in my shoes, you would have said yes too, because back in New York City, it costs $45.
Ooh.
And, you know, they put it on for like 10 minutes.
Those are some strong
and
brows.
whatever, I looked like the man from Angry Birds, whatever the character's name is. And then she took it off, and I was like, oh, like, she showed me, and I was like, no, like, you need to take it off. And she was like, it is off. These are your eyebrows. They look really good, and it really enhances the shape of your eyebrows. And I was like, okay. And then I left, and then I sat in the car contemplating my life and all the decisions I've made, because why would I fall for an $8 eyebrow tint? You know, like, who does that? Like, obviously I'm gonna come out looking like
they'll get you.
I have like the Nike logo on my face. And now I'm stuck with this, and I'm like scrubbing it, and it won't.
It's because
come
it's
off,
tinted.
and I'm like supposed to see people, and like now I'm gonna have to cancel because I can't go out in my hometown looking like this, and it's not coming off, and I don't know what to do. So any suggestions?
These could be saved.
Be great.
But I'm also a little bit like, oh
Otherwise,
no,
I'm gonna, like,
just
rip
why?
the skin off my forehead if I keep doing this. Okay, that's all.
This poor girl. Oh, eyebrows are so fundamentally important to like any makeup look or just any image that you want to portray to anyone ever in the world ever. I've had some interesting eyebrow choices in my life, some through just not being able to really articulate what I want for my eyebrows, and others have just been a choice. Let's leave it at that. Eyebrow tinting is a bit of a weird one to me because the amount of videos I see that literally are just tinting like front to back, full on, like dark brown, really thick, done. I don't actually feel like that is correct. I'm not an eyebrow dyeing specialist. Cancelled! But there has to be a level of like artistry and finessing into it. The same goes with like microblading, which I've had, which I kind of regret a bit. So how would you fix eyebrows that have gone awry, shall we say? Eyebrows that are too thick, too dark, and too strong at the front. This is where you kind of have to get a little bit creative. The tint is on the skin, but it is also on the eyebrow hairs. Now, is there a way that you can mask that tint to make your eyebrows look a little bit more harmonious, a little bit less intense, shall we say?
Forget everything you know.
The way that I would tackle this is I would take the highest coverage concealer that I have. Depending on the type of eyebrow that you want the outcome of, either fully cover the front of your eyebrow to really create the lightest base possible, and then draw in hair-like strokes over the top with an eyeliner or with a liquid brow pen. It might not give you the best outcome because the colours are probably going to be a little bit strange, a little bit off, but with a little bit of finessing you can get that trick to work quite well, especially whilst your eyebrows are fading. Another alternative you can use is get a high coverage brow product like, for example, the Sensorium Platinum Eyebrow Gel, and just gently cover the hairs at the front of your eyebrow just to create a little bit more of an ombre effect. You'll find that just lightening this little area here, it doesn't matter so much how dark these parts of the brow are because you can carve them out with concealer. But anything heavy here at the front really pulls the face in. It can be quite aging. It can also make you look a little bit like, how dare you talk to me like this?
You're heading for the turkey, young lady!
And not everybody wants to look like that. So yes, my lovelies, those are two little tricks you can do, aside from having to wait it out. Oh, okay, I recognize this color. I know what this is. I know what this is. Anybody here who has fashion hair colors or platinum blonde? This is a blue hair bleach. I don't know which system it is, so let's watch and see, shall we? What is this? Oh, no, mute. Right, okay, blue, yes, we're going to separate that section. Oh, yep, tail comb. Oh, that's so fragile. Oh, don't go, man. No. Over-processed. Oh! My worst nightmare. My worst nightmare. What have you done to this poor person? Okay, my lovelies, what's happened here? Too much product, too long, not enough care and attention has been paid to what is happening here. So, how does hair bleach lighten the hair? Your hair fiber has multiple different layers. A hair bleach will open the cuticles, enter in and lighten any of the natural pigment within the hair fiber. This is why hair bleach is not necessarily the first line of attack if you're trying to do a color correction. And because the cuticle does this with bleach, if you use too much bleach or too much of a strong bleach, or you leave it on for too long at too high strength, eventually those cuticles just go like this and rip away. And then the very hair fiber is weakened and will snap. That is what we are looking at right here. This hairdresser has left it on too long. They've used way too strong a bleach, blah, 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 blah. So back when I first started doing my own hair, this thing very quickly happened to me because this was back in the day when it was just like, oh, get it done. Don't bother taking any time to make sure it's great. Just get it on and get it done. Use a 40 volume peroxide. Can you imagine? There's only a few hair types on this planet that can survive the onslaught of a 40 volume bleach. My Caucasian hair type is not one of them. My personal preference here on my Chanel, my lovelies, if you don't know, I do my own roots, I do my own hair every 4 to 6 weeks. It's been a bit more like 6 weeks recently because it does take an extra long time because my hair is so long now. Ugh. This is all my natural hair. It's not my natural colour. I love to use the Wella Blondor system, either Blondorplex or regular Blondor, whichever one I can get, which is also a blue bleach. The blue pigments are meant to help with like neutralising tones as it lifts. Not quite sure how accurate that actually is. I think it's a bit negligible when you start to look at other factors like toners. I mix mine with either a 6 volume, which is a 1.9% peroxide, or a 10 volume, which is a 3% peroxide. And I leave it on my roots for between 2.5 hours and 3 hours, depending how cold the temperature is. Now, I know some of you in the comments are going to be like, no, Luxeria bleach only works for 45 minutes. How dare you? That's what I learned from my reputation. I'm going to tell you, no, that's not true. I do not reapply. I do it one session, one and done. Yes, the reaction will slow down over time, but the way the oxygenization process of the peroxide and the alkaline chemical composition of the powder mix together, if you use a lower volume of peroxide, that reaction is kept going for longer because there is less oxygenation happening to do the work of the outcome. So no, 45 minutes is in fact not the limit when you are talking about lower concentrations of peroxide. Tea! Did you know that, my loves? Wig tea!
Why don't you try on that lovely wig?
So the answer is, my lovelies, if you want to go platinum blonde, low and slow is best. However, salons obviously need to make money as well, and they sometimes balance this by doing a service faster. For me, the integrity of my hair is worth hours and hours and hours extra of my time. I would not be able to have hair this long and this healthy and this colour if I didn't go low and slow. Oh, colour theory, we do love you. What's this? Okay, right, okay. Going ginger update. My hair has fallen out.
My hair is falling out. When I did the strand test, I only left the bleach on for like 15 or 20 minutes, and my entire head was processing for like 40 minutes to like an hour.
Yes.
And I had used like permanent color remover like 2 days before I did this.
Oh, there you go.
Clumps are coming out.
Oh no!
Like,
oh
my god. Someone save me.
Oh, it looks chewy, doesn't it? Like you could just go...
Just so we can further see damage. There's the first photo. And for your entertainment, the second photo.
Oh my gosh, that is going to be so stretchy. I'm sorry, we have to look. We have to look at that again. What is that? That is going to be so stretchy and stringy, and every time you try and gently comb that, just, oh, it's all going to come out, and your hair is already really short. Sometimes the only way to fix a problem this bad is to shave one's head. Just going to say it there. I don't know, however, what the colour was that she started out with, but if she used a colour remover, it does depend on what colour remover she used, because they're not all made equal, and they're not all made the same. My favourite colour remover ever, I don't know if it's still done anymore, because it's been a long time since I've done any colour removal, permanent colour removal, shall I say, is the Affinage Boiselier Geblas. I'll put a photo on the screen. This stuff is incredible. It's so gentle and it removes permanent tones from the hair. Only dye tones, and you can use it as multiple different times as you want. But remember, slowly, slowly, slowly does it. If she only wanted to go to a ginger tone, let's just hazard a guess and say she had really dark brown hair, like a chocolate brown. She dyed it chocolate brown, chocolate brown. You just have to use a colour remover and maybe a bleach bath. Definitely not a 40-minute process. But 40-minute processing means that, her roots here must have been, naturally very, very light to get to this colour in 40 minutes from, maybe a box bleach. My roots would never get anywhere near this colour in 40 minutes from a box bleach. It'd be electric pine. When it comes to actually putting red tones over the top of, lightened tones, in order to create, a nice ginger outcome, you do not have to lift your hair this light. You really don't. Don't have to go anywhere near this level of lightness in order to create, gorgeous multi-tonal ginger effect. So I don't know where this lady found out this technique of, colour remover, then the bleach, because I don't think it was safe. This is my thing, though, as well, my lovelies. If you're not perhaps a professional, or you're not really confident or happy with an outcome going, severely awry, don't try this at home. All right, my lovelies, should we have a look at the last one? Oh, here we go. I was just talking about this. How random is that? Okay, microblading ruined my eyebrows. Tea. Okay, right, let's listen to Casey Brim.
Whoever got their eyebrows microbladed actually liked the results a few years later? Or do we all collectively fucking hate ourselves for making the worst decision of our lives? Because I have to every single month go and get my eyebrows laminated to cover up the green, grey, blue shit show that is left on my face that I've had a saline solution removal situation to try and get rid of, which my brows were like bright red for 6 weeks and I had no idea that the healing was going to take that long, just to take a tiny bit of the pigment out. Biggest mistake ever. If you don't heed my advice and you still want to go ahead and book it, go down the artist page and maybe 2 or 3 years, click the people tagged in those photos that they put that look beautiful straight on the chair after they've been freshly done, and DM them and ask them if they like their brows a few years later or if they fucking hate them, because I don't know a single person who got them done and actually ends up liking them.
Okay, wow, she is on the ball. That's on the game, and she's on the ball. Okay, my lovely, so let's talk microblading, shall we? I am one of these people, I didn't like my results of my microblading. I went to one of the best practitioners in London, and she made me wonky, and it was so annoying, it was so expensive, and I'm still dealing with the consequences years later. Had them done in 2021, it is now 2024. You won't be able to tell because I actually cover them quite expertly now during my makeup process before I repaint them on in a shape that I actually want. I had my eyebrows done in a way that they mapped them out and they all look really nice when I was laying like this. I was like, actually, yeah, they look pretty even. I like that. If you're going to get your eyebrows microbladed, make sure you stand up, walk around the room, look in mirrors in different lighting, look in mirrors in different places to see if they are actually flattering on your face. Because there's one thing for people to say like, oh, we're going to do it like this so they're absolutely symmetrical. Very rarely are our faces absolutely symmetrical. So yes, maths can help plan a great eyebrow, but if one side of your face is slightly lower than the other, it's going to look wonky because it's not going to be where your actual eyebrow is or where a flattering position for your eyebrow is. I asked for lifted tails. I wanted my tails of my eyebrows to go straight out, basically almost vertical, straight up. That's the way I love it. She filled them in going slightly down. So for a year, I had a downturned eyebrow and it just was like, why have you done this? Why have you done this? And I didn't realize until it had healed like a month after you have it done that it was in fact downturned. I really didn't like it. I told her about it and she was like, well, no, that's just sometimes the way things... And I was like, no. I know I could have done a better job at microblading my eyebrows if I had the skill set that was correct to do this. As a makeup artist for multiple different years, I'm like, I could have done this. I really could have done this. I am also in the same position now of having a saline treatment in order to remove old microblading. And to be honest, it's not even that great at removing it. I think I might even just go in for laser pigment removal on my eyebrows, to be honest. The thing is, I do want them done again. I just want them done in a place where it's like, let me do the guidelines and then fill them in and then I'll be fine. I'll be fine, because I'll do it sitting up, I'll do it looking in this mirror, I'll do it over here, doing it over there, make sure I look great from all the angles. Love it. So, my lovelies, I want to hear your microblading stories. Do you love your microblading? Do you absolutely hate it? Worst thing you've ever done? Let me know in the comments box below, because I feel like I agree with this lady. I don't know many people that have years on had a great experience with microblading. Well, my lovelies, what a video that was. Oh, I was sent down a spiral of emotions. I can't imagine having my hair burnt off by bleach now. Could you imagine? That is kind of a worry I do have with my own self. I'm like, imagine if somehow I got the mixture wrong and I'm like, oh, well, now I have a clump fallen off here. The rumours are true. She does, in fact, have a B-tag. If you would like to tag me in any of the unhinged nonsense you see over on TikTok, it is Luxeria. Feel free to go and give me a little follow over there. I do occasionally post over there. I'm not a TikTok queen quite yet, but I do post travel and fashion nonsense over there. Oh, today is the first day that I feel like I've recovered from the plague. Isn't it nice? Gosh, don't you just miss the times when you can't breathe out of one nostril and you're just like, oh, I lament the time in which I could breathe through both nostrils.
She's dead.
Oh, those were the days, weren't they? The golden age. Grab yourself a beverage. I'm once again on the caffeinated beverages here today. Pop your little ohrhanger right into your little TikTok hole and let's watch some unhinged beauty TikToks, shall we, my loves? What is this, volume 12? Yes.
Don't bother.
Oh dear, we're starting strong here today, my lovelies. Okay. Oh my God, I'm crying. And I do, in fact, see something that might happen in this TikTok. I'm just gonna say it, my loves. I'm just gonna say it. How many of us have found ourselves in this situation? I don't know. Something's happened in our lives. We go, oh, it's very stressful. Do you know what it's time for? It's time for me to cut my own bangs.
No, God! No, God, please, no!
It's not for you. It's not for you, sis. I don't know who needs to tell you. It's not for you. Maybe 1 in every 100 people who cut their own fringe is perhaps it's for them. It's not for you. Oh, it's not for us. Also, it looks like she kind of has very curly textured hair. So let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm going to hold my horses. Let's watch. Oh, is this copyright music maybe? Oh. Oh, that's really high. No. Oh. Oh, no, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You'll regret it. You'll instantly regret that. No. Oh. Oh no! And what do you do then? You just carry on with your day with this new fringe? Oh no. What did I just say? What did I just say? It's not for you. We've all been there, but it's not for you. Oh, how can you even begin to fix something like this? So, I don't know if you know, but I was a hairdresser for a very short time in my life, from around 16 to 17 years old, I want to say. I actually fell in love with hair colour and hair bleach during that time, and that's why now I do all my own hair and beauty things. So, first of all, if you're going to try and trim your own fringe or trim your own face framing layers, something like that, always start longer than you think. Try not to tie things up quite so tightly. Always start and then cut off more, because when you find yourself in this situation, what can she do here? This is so short. She's got such curly volume that she cut it here, but it actually pulled it all the way up to here. And that's going to take, what? Months to fix itself. Unless she perhaps wants to wear one of those nice, like, hairbands that pushes everything back. Maybe disguising the crime that's been committed. So, my lovelies, no. Do you know what? No. Let me know in the comments here if you are a hairdresser. How many times someone has come into your salon wearing a hat and going, don't look at me, don't look at me. Sat in your chair and then gone, look what I did. And you go, oh, God. How many times has that happened, my lovelies? Let me know. No. There's no biochemistry here that will help you. Right, what's next on the agenda? Oh, a green screen from, what's this? Runway Relapse. Do we agree with that? I'm not sure we do. Right, let's watch. Oh, the Muscle Margelli artisanal collection. Oh, my God. I have to pause. This has taken the entire internet by storm. Because it should do. Any makeup artist in the world at any moment at this time in existence has been completely obsessed with the Maison Margiela makeup style that was recently seen in Fashion Week. Everyone is like, oh my God.
I'm going to cream.
Gagged, gooped. We've seen people talking about the products that Pat McGrath used to try and create the glass skin. We've seen people theorizing what's available. We've seen people question whether it's actually an unreleased product that's coming to the market at any moment. Quickly buy it, out of stock. And you know what? It's fully captured me as well. Should we admire the beauty, shall we? It's not very often that we get to see some unhinged beauty TikTok that's actually completely deranged in the best possible way. Who would have thought? Matching the skin to a plastic latex textured garment. Also, this lady is gorgeous. I know that she's also in Game of Thrones. Her name escapes me immediately. Gwendolyn. It's Gwendolyn something, isn't it? It did just say it and it's completely gone. Ah, selling the fantasy. Fashion is back. The industry is saved. The crops are watered. Ah, imagine. I do think this music might be copyrighted, so we are going to turn that down slightly. Not looking to get cancelled here on the Chanel, no. Ah, endless pride, I don't think.
Are you homosexual?
Breathtaking, isn't it? Phenomenal. The techniques, the skills. How do you even begin to build a garment like that? Yes, bitch! You better saunter that runway! Look at the ringlets. Oh, the texture of the skin. Even the actual, like, Rococo chic inspired actual base makeup is incredible. I love a bright yellow cheek. Oh! Snatched at the back. Business at the front and snatched at the back. Oh, yes. Every day. Did you love that? Should we all clap? Yes, queen! I loved that. Absolutely loved that. Well, Runway Relapse, thank you so much. Yes. Right, taking it back to something completely different. This is are we going to have a skincare moment here? Let's have it. Oh, this is 3.5 minutes long. I don't know if we watched the whole video by SF Princess, but we shall see.
So I recently tried a new skincare and this is what happened.
Oh, no.
So I'm gonna show you guys how to cover it up. I'm really hoping that my skin heals quickly, because this is how my skin usually is. Like, this is no beauty filter,
Lovely.
no nothing. Like, it's
Lovely
usually
skin.
pretty
I like the nails as
clear.
well. Knives.
I don't know what happened over here. But let me just show you how I cover it.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start by using any type of a poreless primer, just so that it can smooth out my skin and none of the texture will show as much.
Do you know, I think for something like this, actually, perhaps the beautiful Marcel Margiela makeup would be great for creating a barrier between your skin and makeup in this specific kind of an instance. I do want to say, though, a lot of makeup artists out here, myself included, if you're working on a counter or doing freelance or anything like that, anyone will say if you're having this much of a bad reaction to something, do not put makeup on your skin. Do not put makeup that's perhaps using unwashed brushes or sponges or powder or texture or anything like that onto fresh open wounds on the face. However, I do also know that people are going to do that, because do you know what? Because you're having a reaction to something, the world doesn't stop. You might still need to put on glam to go to your job. You might still need to put on glam to do X, Y, or Z. Like, the world doesn't stop. You know, best thing that you can do in this sort of a situation is to make sure that all of your tools are clean and sanitized so they do not cause further problems, and create a barrier between the areas that are a problem and the makeup you're going to put on top of them. So that's using specific skincare infused primers, perhaps even avoiding those areas whatsoever and just using some of those blemish patches, although make sure that the blemish patches themselves aren't going to cause you problems by being put into technically like a sore, technically like a skin sore, but let's keep watching.
By spot concealing the areas with the most pigmentation on them.
Spot concealing,
y'all know
great,
when
yes.
your face just hurts, like it's burnt and it just hurts to even touch? That's where I'm at right now.
Oh, you
So if
poor
anybody
thing. It's
knows
not
of
fun, is it?
anything to put on my face to help it heal faster, please let me know. I have been trying a bunch of different things to help my skin, so
Okay,
if
this is a
anything
full
works,
coverage glam.
I'll make sure to let you guys know, because honestly this has never happened and I'm just hoping it doesn't scar.
I wonder what
For
the...
contour, I'm using the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Chestnut.
See, oh, this is kind of a bit underpainting. This is kind of a little bit what I do. Maybe not quite so full coverage.
Concealer in Almond. I'm gonna be going on a trip in the next month, and I'm super excited. I feel like the two most asked questions ever on my makeup when people see me, one in person or online, is one, how do you get your face to look like a porcelain doll, like just your skin to look so smooth? And the second one is always like, what is your nose contour like technique?
This is drag contour. This is drag nose contour. That's exactly what this is. And that's not bad in the slightest. Not a bad technique. Makeup is all about creating illusions. I am, however, going to say that if you have textured skin, makeup is never going to completely cover that. It might look great in videos, great in photos, especially uploaded to something like TikTok, where the quality of the upload affects like how the skin looks. TikTok even has like advanced beauty filters even built into the app. Sometimes you have to turn them off if you want to upload a video without that happening. But in more professional video environments, such as what I'm filming with now, like you can see my skin texture, and I will never ever completely hide that. And I actually quite like the fact that you can kind of see that, because it does in fact make me look more human. There is no makeup out there currently, well maybe the Marcel Margiela mask might, that can mask texture. You will always still be able to see texture. Makeup looks like makeup when it's on the skin.
Routine, I
love
guess,
that
or
brush. I think that's a
technique
NARS
is
brush,
you want
isn't it?
your nose to look like you have a filter on, like you just got a nose job.
I would have maybe
this
not
is
used quite such
the
a
secret
large
to it.
brush
Oh, and this
up to
too.
the
I use
sides.
this one for Physicians Formula.
Oh no, I didn't
highlighter.
appreciate
I like
this.
just
No,
silver.
I didn't really.
Blush. I just discovered this blush. This is the Fire Clay from NARS, and you guys, this is the prettiest blush.
That is very
I
nice.
love it.
Soft kiss.
I've been so obsessed with it. I use it every single time I do my makeup. It's legit the perfect pink.
Oh, well, there we go. That's how apparently she does her makeup. I'm going to say, from a professional makeup artist point of view, if you can take the time away from wearing cosmetics after having a bad skin reaction to a product, then do so, because your skin needs to have time to heal. But there was a nice pretty blush at the end there, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay. Oh, another green screen. What's this? Jodie Neal, 22.
I got first degree.
Oh, hang on. Wait a second. She's far too loud. Volumers. Right, I also did hear I've got first degree burns, so let's see.
I got first degree burns from Paula's Choice Exfoliant.
Why? Can you
My skin before.
Lovely skin. Very good.
My skin a month after using the product twice daily for 5 days. Please don't follow the bottle instructions like I did. I reached out to PC, who said they would look into changing the bottle instructions, and Feel Unique gave me a voucher. Refund.
Oh my
So
goodness.
far, I've spent over £100 on dermatology and prescriptions. I just want my skin healthy again.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, so what she's used here is the 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. It's salicylic acid. So I'm a huge fan of salicylic acid based skincare, especially for actually targeting problem areas of the skin. I've been a huge fan of salicylic acid forever, but I am going to say there does seem to be movement in the regulation world, should we say, about ingredients that are active in cosmetics and skincare. The reason why I say this is because the European Union recently banned any use of retinol over 0.3% in products for the face. And I do sort of agree with that, because an average consumer is going to read what they say on the bottle and just follow that. Because skincare is not really associated with like doctor's orders, so to speak. Like, you can go into a drugstore and an assistant there, who's perhaps just a product assistant, will be able to say, oh, use this however you want. Yeah.
Why don't you try on that lovely wig?
And they're not technically like licensed dermatologists. So, when it comes to something like salicylic acid, how does it work? Why is it working on the skin? Why do we love it? So salicylic acid is a BHA, which stands for beta hydroxy acid. And that is meant to help promote the skin's natural exfoliation process. It's actually a metabolite of aspirin. So back in the day, people used to crush up aspirin tablets and put them on their face and be like, oh my God, radiant. And while nowadays salicylic acid is synthesized in laboratories, it was actually found in willow bark. Again, going back to the little point I just mentioned about aspirin, back in the good old days, the medieval times, people would chew on willow bark to alleviate pain, hence aspirin painkiller. Isn't that amazing? Oh my God, amazing. Isn't science great? So the way that it works on the skin as a topical treatment is salicylic acid will actually penetrate into a pore and literally just like scrape out all of the muck and gloop and dead skin cells, oil buildup, all the sorts of like gloopy, awful nonsense. And because of its ability to penetrate a pore itself, it actually has the ability to reduce sebum production and help prevent further clogging of that pore. It also has anti-inflammatory properties, such as redness reduction. There is data to suggest that it might reduce fine lines and wrinkles. However, I would say that, I don't know. I feel like I've used salicylic acid for nearly all of my adult life, and I wouldn't say it's reduced fine lines and wrinkles. I would say there are probably things that are better out there for that. But because of its exfoliating process, they can put that on the bottle of like, oh yes, it reduces fine lines and wrinkles. I actually think that's just hydrating the skin. I'm sure another biochemist could quite easily chime in the comments if they want to. Let me know their opinions.
Don't bother.
It is really sad to see someone have such a severe reaction to something like this, but I would never use 2% salicylic acid on my skin twice daily. That is a lot to put it through. In fact, actually, I would probably say 2% every other day. It's probably more than fine for a lot of people. This is where like problems between skincare and, should we say, business get into place here, because obviously a company that's selling you a product wants you to use up that product.
She's got a point.
And ideally they want you to use it up in like a sensible amount of time so that you have to rebuy it every 30 days, let's say. That method of product development and product advertising is not going to take into account that that's not going to work for everyone. But what I am glad about here in this specific instance is that Paula's Choice did in fact listen to Jodie when she reached out and offered some kind of support. I'm not sure how I would feel about getting a voucher being like, oh, come buy more of our skincare after I've had a reaction to your skincare. I probably would be like, No. But I want to absolutely spread the message that when you buy these products, if they are not prescription and they are not given to you by a dermatologist or someone with an actual qualification in medicine, you are just following the guidelines on the bottle. And the guidelines on the bottle are written technically by a marketing department. Always, always, always exercise caution when trying a new product. And I would in fact even go further to say, try your new products nowhere near as frequently as they say on the bottle at first in order to see how your skin reacts to it. The skin on the face is generally just a little bit more sensitive than skin elsewhere on the body. Like, I probably wouldn't have a reaction to something if I was to mark it here, but if I was to put it under my eye up here, I might have a reaction to that same strength, depending on the active ingredient, of course. So yes, my loves, always exercise caution, but I'm really sorry that happened. That's so rubbish, isn't it? Oh, why is the skin, do you know what? Today, no.
Shut your pie just now.
Allergic to Duo Lash Glue? Oh, if you're allergic to latex, don't push it in your eyes.
Hi guys, I'm in the process of getting ready, but the next step is my lashes. And I've seen a lot on TikTok about the dual lash giving you like an allergic reaction, making your eyes itchy, scratchy, and like waking up with like sore eyes. So like that happened to me. Like I just kept using it, like I didn't care because like I literally have no eyelashes, so like a day with lashes is like not a good day for me. So I was reading the comments on this girl because she said she was allergic to them as well, like lashes. And I seen a comment that said the velour lash glue was good and you can get it on Amazon. It's like around $8 and I like not bad price.
I wonder what the active is in that then.
Lashes. Here are my lashes that I'm using for today. So I never really had a problem with using dual glue. I mean, I used it for like about 2 years already, and it was just such a good glue, like, to be honest.
But like, I'm not going to agree there. She did just say that she started having problems with it. So that does contradict a little bit. But that's fine, that's fine. Sometimes people just do.
Started making my eyes itch and like making my eyes really crusty. Okay, so I cut my eyelashes.
And you don't want crusty eyes, no, not with lashes.
If you have the same problem as me, you know that when you apply it, like your eyes just burn so badly, but you just deal with it because no lash day is not a good day.
No, lash glue when you apply it to the eye should absolutely not burn. If your eyes are burning when you put a cosmetic product on them, there is a problem and you should immediately remove that from your makeup routine.
Okay, so I usually apply my lash glue, I let it dry for a bit and I bend them a little.
Yes, give it a little bend, give it a little wave.
Now that the lash is tacky, I'm gonna apply it.
Don't blow on it because that's unhygienic. I would have done mascara first.
Okay, so I have it on and it didn't burn, which is a good sign.
Yes.
But we'll see how it goes throughout the day.
Oh, are we gonna get a check-in? Oh, I love makeup with a check-in.
This is a latex-free eyelash glue, so if you're interested in that, I'll try to leave a link. And it is called the Velour Eyelash Glue.
Okay.
And if you guys are curious what dual lash glue I would use, it was the green one. The green dual lash glue.
What's the green one?
So off the bat, I do have a complaint. It doesn't stick on like as like right away and like good like as the dual lash glue. It just takes a little while to like wiggle it and set it in place. That's my only complaint so far.
Okay.
I will be
giving
keeping
an
you guys
honest
updated,
review.
see how it works out for me, and if you guys want to try it out yourself, I'm not sure if they have it on stores. We'll keep you guys updated on the eyelash glue if any of you guys have a problem.
Yes.
Or if you're not willing to try it just yet and see if it works out for me.
Does it?
Okay.
Oh, here she is.
I look crazy, but
I don't think you look crazy.
These are the lashes.
Oh, they are on.
After I last put them on, and they did not irritate me, and I'll see in the morning if they do irritate me, and I'll keep trying the lash glue, see if it does start itching me.
We're not wearing eyelashes in our sleep.
Good so far.
Well, that's the end of that. Again, if you are having a reaction to anything you're putting on your eye which is claimed to be a cosmetic and it starts burning, do not continue using that product. Just don't. So the Velour Lash Glue, let's look that up, shall we? Velour Beauty. It is a latex-free eyelash glue with a precision brush applicator that makes application mess-free. It is white adhesive glue that dries clear and is microbial approved for safe use on the eyes and hypoallergenic. What is the ingredients? Acrylate, so it's a plastic acrylate copolymer, water, phenoxyethanol. That's phenoxyethanol is a great preservative. Ethyl hexyl glycerin, I'm not sure. It could be something with a moisturizing factor because that's usually what glycerin is. or it could just be a fact to keep the product like gloopy. Sounds like a really straightforward, simple product and a great answer. So the lady in this TikTok did in fact mention that sometimes the glue takes a little bit of time to dry or to really get tacky. If you have a latex-free glue that's not performing as good as you would like it to, shall we say, after you've applied it to the lash band, position it to where exactly you want it on your eye, do a little print off, and then remove the lash, and it should leave a tiny bit of glue residue where you want to put your lashes. Reapply another layer of glue to the lash band and wait for that to go tacky, whilst the glue on your eyelid is going tacky, and then when you place them together, they have so much stronger grip that those eyelashes are not going anywhere. This is a technique that I used to sometimes use during weddings or days where people are going to be emotional, they're going to be wearing lashes for a long time, like, oh. I don't necessarily recommend it for an everyday use, but it is a technique that beats when eyelashes are like, do you know what? I'm going to start peeling off. Oh, I don't like this bit of skin. Actually, I'm not going to stick by. It defeats that. Completely leaves it in the dust. Right, what do we have here? Oh, okay, right. Oh, lip filler hack. Okay, everybody, have we reached this part of the video? Okay, time for the injectables.
All my lip filler girlies, I have lip filler in my top lip, and I've had it for about a year now.
Yes.
But the way I keep it, like, I guess maintained, and so I don't have to go get more, I go like this, and I massage the filler back into my lips. Okay, and then I just do that around my entire lip. Okay, after like, what, 30 seconds? It literally looks like I got my lips redone.
No, that's swelling, sis. That's swelling.
I don't even, like...
I really need to pause here. I really need to pause here. So, is this technically bad for you? Probably not. Is the effect that you're feeling gonna be permanent? Probably not, because the body does in fact actually break down lip filler over time, especially if you have something like hyaluronic acid. Every filler practitioner that I have been to, after injecting my lips with filler, has given them a soft massage to be into place. I have only ever been advised to continually massage after the first few days if there is granulation, which there shouldn't really be, because if you go to a really good person, they're not going to give you granulation. I do not think for a split second that you can massage filler back into an area once it's like bonded and set within the tissues. It's almost akin to saying something like, oh my goodness, well if I put filler here, up here, after a while on my arm, I could just massage the filler down to here. Now, by saying this, I'm not saying that filler migration isn't real, because it is, but filler migration is caused by the general softening and breakdown of the tissues over time. I don't know, you know how swelling kind of creeps up over time and then goes down over time again? It's a similar sort of mechanism to that. Not exactly the same, but similar. The effect that you are feeling from massaging your lips like this is temporary swelling. Whenever something is being massaged on your body does undergo a reaction of like, oh, something's happening in this area, quickly, should we put some fluids and some good things in this area just in case? And obviously, depending on how much of a like trauma this massage is causing, will depend how much fluid is going to that area. I will, however, open this up to the floor. I'm very interested in other people's experiences with filler. Like, would you say that massaging filler back into your lips is a way of extending the life of filler? Because I actually would see it almost as breaking down the filler extra if you were to keep doing that. Actually, like, agitating the very finest edges of the filler may cause further breakdown faster. I'm not a practitioner or an esthetician or anything of the sort. That's just what I would hazard an educated guess for. Interesting.
Cancelled!
Oh, we've got the tape out. What's gonna happen with the tape?
Sounds pretty nice. So I'm using a tape to lift the tip and slim my nose bridge, and I know the results won't be as drastic.
So, fact or cap?
I'm sorry, Dr. Roger Tsai. Sorry, my lovely. I just want to watch this. Is she going to lift the tip with tape? I don't think, like, tape... What? None of this is permanent. None of the things that we see, these little hacks where it's like, oh, if you tape it this way, that's not permanent. Otherwise, face tapes would give you a facelift forever.
Must be the last one this season.
I want to hear about what Dr. Roger says about this.
The tip and slim my nose bridge, and I know the results won't be as drastic.
So, fact or cap? Unfortunately, this is cap.
Of course.
It might work for a short period of time,
Yes.
a couple of hours, or maybe even a night out.
Yes.
But when you wake up the next day,
Yes.
it's all going to go back to normal. Just like wearing a waist trainer. It might help for a short period of time, but once you take it off, it all goes back.
Yeah, well, exactly that. Exactly, Wigty. The thing with things like TikTok and being able to share such fast information is that the algorithm, these like magical little things behind the scene, favor more dramatic content. So if you titled this video such as, I gave myself a nose job with tape, that's going to do infinitely better in the algorithm and increase your reach to a new audience or an even bigger audience. So it might even cause some content creators to be like, oh yeah, no, this is almost permanent for me, because there is more investment in saying something as profound as that in a short form content TikTok than it would be to create content for YouTube or something to say like, my entire day documenting the use of tape for a nose job, does it work? I know it's something that a lot of people don't want to hear, and I know it's something that's also a little bit like, frustrating, shall we say. It's a little bit frustrating, but none of these results are ever going to be permanent unless you go for permanent options such as surgery or injectables. And even most injectables are not permanent. Also, injectables will not slim a nose down.
I've got a bucket of piss, sweetie.
Oh, what's this one? Okay. Christian, free blue face, free my daddy, I love you, papa. Christian Rock shows off her new blue face tattoo. Oh, hang on. Wait, what? That was fast. That was fast. Do I have to say here on the Chanel, I don't think I have to say this, but I'm just going to say it anyway. Don't get someone else's face tattooed onto your face. Now, I actually recognize these names. Christian Rock shows off her new blue face tattoo. I recognize some of these names. I am in no way, I don't really know who they are. I don't really know anything about them, but I know that on Reddit there is conversations of like, a negative relationship, should we say. All right, what does Yolando say? Right, she's got some beautiful face artwork. See, that's gorgeous. Look at that full coverage woman! What's this? What is this? Is this a full coverage? Is this an advert for full coverage foundation? Oh, very fierce if so. Got a problem? Cover it up, girl. Oh, I love it. Oh, that is some
I got you, Christina.
Dream coverage.
Got you. I got you. Pimby Evanes, Soft Matte Concealer. We got you.
Soft Night Concealer. That is incredible. I want to try that product. What is that? Sorry, we've just seen an absolute masterclass in social media advertising right there. We've just seen an absolute masterclass. You take something that's perhaps getting a lot of drama, a lot of attention, a lot of like clickbait, rage bait headlines, and you just simply show a product fixing the issue. Quietly, by yourself, almost like a... And there you go. Love that. That is social media expertise happening right there. Love that, love that, love everything about it. I need to find out more about this product. Beautiful shade match as well. On the ball. Is it her own makeup line? I think it might be. I'm gonna have to do some research into this afterwards. I love a full coverage, absolute full coverage foundation option. Back in the day, you only used to be able to get like absolute full coverage foundations from brands like Kryolan or from even Mac Pro. They had their full coverage foundation, which I absolutely loved. And in fact, back in the day, it was the only shade that matched me. W10, so pale. Nowadays, I've actually embraced my skin's ability to actually be a human color and not just purely spectral. One of the other like extreme tattoo coverage foundations that went viral relatively recently, it's probably about 10 years ago now, isn't it? Is the Dermacol full coverage foundation in their like, it's in like a metal squeezy tube. That is an incredible product. And you can also get more specialist items as well, such as Derma Cover, I believe. This TikTok was posted 3 days ago and I'll be very interested to see more of this product. Soft Night Concealer. Scandalous. Oh, right, okay, hang on. Okay, this might not necessarily be something to do with beauty, but if you don't know, my loves, in the UK, Rishi Sunak and the general in the army has started throwing around things saying we should bring back national conscription, and Gen Z is creating the most incredible content in reaction to that, because who wants to fight for this awful country? Not me! I'm not being drafted, no thank you. Right, just Sam Morris. Give us some wisdom. Me after seeing my bestie in prison after we refused to be drafted by the war. Right. Oh, you are notes, eh? Oh, you are notes, eh?
Of course. Did you just get here? Babe,
It is fucking crazy back there. Have you seen it? It's like fucking Fashion Week. They've run out of boiler suits. I already had one from Cos, so I just brought that up.
No,
I feel like it's gonna be kind of lit in here. No,
Not lit.
I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's gonna be the vibe in here. Like I feel like it's gonna be a hoot. I spoke to one of the guards, and they said that they've linked up the TV to WoW, so we can stream new Drag Race in here.
Oh, could you imagine? Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And to watch the rest of this TikTok, my lovely, jump on over to Just Sam Morris over on TikTok. I'm not going to be conscripted for this country. That is not happening.
Excuse me, I will not have that. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Right, okay, back to some cosmetics. What do we have here? Alison Knight. Oh, how to apply highlighter. Oh, is it going to be a hack? Or is it just going to be like, this is how you do it? Should we have some educational content for a moment, shall we?
Apply highlighter to capture your best lighting at all times.
Capture
I'm gonna be
your
using my
best
favorite
lighting.
highlighter. This is the Jack & Cosmetics highlighter. in
Dead
Ice.
now.
And I'm actually using a fluffy eyeshadow blending brush. This
Yes.
is from BH Cosmetics.
With
pick
tea.
up literally
Oh, I
the
love a bit of
slightest
BH.
bit and just place it on the tops of your cheekbones, and I like to go a little bit under the brow as well. On the tip of the nose. For two
Yes.
spots, you would
Oh, I do
usually
feel like
think
this is copyright
right
music.
here, above
Oh,
each
yes.
brow.
Okay, a little bit above the
And
brow.
on your chin, chin, chin. Now, no matter where the light is hitting you, you are gonna be glowing, girl.
You
Like
have
the
a
follow
beauty
from our
filter
tips.
on.
Thank you very much.
I will say that, yes, I do...
No matter where.
More flattering angle, there we go. I do love the idea of wearing highlighter in more than one place on the face. Here, a little bit under the brows, etc. Personally, I am not a huge fan of wearing non-liquid highlighters in areas like the forehead or the chin. And the reason why is because sometimes powdered highlighters can add in texture, or they have that kind of like vague glitter in them. And sometimes a glittery chin is not the tea.
How dare you?
But I will say these are the generally the most flattering places to place highlighter on the face. Again, it's going to be slightly different for every single person. So when you hear someone say something like across the cheekbones, you have to decide where that's going to be for the kind of finish and the kind of face shape that you want to go for in the end. Do you want to enhance your natural face shape, or do you perhaps want to give that little bit of like a shape-shifting illusion that your cheekbones are sharper or some such? I actually prefer to use a foundation brush to apply my highlighter. A fluffy foundation brush and not like a flat one. And I will use this brush whilst tilting my head down and just like pull like this, naturally where the sun would hit on my high planes of my face. So maybe not quite that dramatic actually. I try and keep it on the outer parts of my face and then apply my contour just underneath my cheekbones so that I can create that point, like pointed cheekbones. But softly brushing over the skin rather than going backwards and forwards like this is going to give you that high impact but also soft focus at the edges of where you've placed that highlighter. So yes, I love a bit of highlighter. Oh my goodness, it just brings life back to the face, doesn't it? If, however, you have a highlighter that is just doing the most, just doing too much for you, pop a little bit of loose powder over the top and you will instantly see it a lot more seamless with the skin.
I know it!
Oh, my lovelies. Okay, right. We've got a lip lining one right now, my lovelies. You're overlining your lips the wrong way. Am I? Oh, please do tell me how. Right. Oh, there's no audio on this one. Okay, so I'll just like, little sing-song, put it around your lips. That's too much. Oh, why is she not allowed to speak? Okay. This is doing too much. You are not allowed to do all that. That is not the right way. Do it like this. Okay, so leave the sides alone. Go up into the middle. Do a little cross. Yes, this is great. Love this. And join it over if you want that more fuller. Yes. Agree there. Yes, yes, yes. Now what you need to do is put it in the bin.
The bins!
Go, yes, follow the edge, but don't overline the edge. Yes, I would agree, if you want a flattering outcome anyway. Overlining the center creates a fuller illusion. Wig tea. And then the bottom part, yes? You want the center? Oh, I wish I knew what she was saying. And then you're going to do it up like this. And then around like that and join them together. Yes! 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 I completely agree. Pause. Yes, I agree. That is so much more of a flattering shape that's a lot more in the realms of neutral and natural than extending anything going from the outside of your face. Of course, if you're doing things like more fun makeup or more sort of like avant-garde looks or drag looks or whatever, do whatever you want with like the sides of your lip. Do whatever you want. If you want to increase the natural size of your lips and make them look more fuller and more eye-catching, always concentrate that overlining in the center of the top and the bottom, and it gives you that more pouty look rather than like just a full-on single shaped lip. Well, my lovelies, oh, I love that. Yes, yes, yes. Well done. That was quite an interesting development today, wasn't it? And a little interesting deep dive. Well, maybe not that deep, more like a shallow saunter into the world of unhinged beauty TikToks. I will forever love that Maison Margiela makeup look. It just is so iconic. Pat McGrath really blew it out the park, didn't she? Out the park. Great. However, I am going to tell you again, do not try and cut a fringe at home because you're just not going to like it. Don't cut your own bangs. It's not for you. You're not going to like it.